Warning. The Pop Punk Book Club features heavily biased opinions and unapologetically wild takes performed either by professionals or under the supervision of professionals to ensure the safety of performers and animals alike. We may sound confident, but our views are based entirely on personal feelings. Accordingly, the PPBC and the producers must insist that everyone attempt to recreate and reenact these stunts and activities. Join us at poppunkbookclub.com.
Do we need to get you a beeper?
A beeper?
Yeah.
I got my go bag packed.
There you go. You packed your hospital bag?
No. I don't know what to put in it. Game Boy.
Jess was on me for months about packing a hospital bag. She'd come by and like, you packed your hospital bag? And I'm like, no, I'll do it. Like when you go into labor, I'll just do it then.
Yeah,
like,
that's so like, you, by the way.
I know it is. I know it is. No, it would be me to be doing it when like the baby's like crowning.
No, I haven't got a backpack.
Okay.
Bag packed. What am I going to put in there?
I don't know. Just like, do you have any responsibility?
One of those ball and cups where you like try to catch it. something to do while I'm waiting.
Spoons? Yes.
Spoons. That's so. Kate's like, did you bring my my birthing playlist? And I'm like, no, babe, I got the spoons.
That was my only job, the playlist. Yeah. And you know what? I'd done one for the previous kid, and so all I really did was just like use the same one and just chuck on a couple of new songs.
That's a dad hack. Just reusing the playlist.
Yeah.
I said to Kate, can I chuck some metal in your playlist? And she's like, honestly, depending on how the birth's going, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. She might need the amp up. That's right.
But no, so for anyone listening who doesn't know, my partner could go into labor any moment. The baby's due technically tomorrow. So
that's a new record for this podcast because I don't know that Jess was due like the day after our shoot last time. It was like a week later maybe.
Yeah, you still were on when we did the boxcar episode. You were still like on go time. So I've got to keep my phone
exactly,
on. Yeah. Actually, I'll make sure it is because that would be the worst.
Yeah.
Just a text. Would you like to meet your daughter? Anyway, last week we were saying about how the funny story about how after the episode before that, we went outside and you were doing a sneaky wee in the bushes and I accidentally turned my high beams on and my whole lights on and just lit you up on like a Christmas tree, like National Lampoons, just on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And then we had just talked about that. And then after we left, we've gone out to the car and you're just like, oh, all this talk makes me have to go to the toilet again. Ha ha ha. I'm like, yeah, I won't do that again. And then it's Len on my beeper to open my car and my alarm system went off. Lighting Sam up with just like flashes of yellow, orange light, just like strobing, turning around, looking at me like, what are you doing?
I stumbled. I almost lost my pants. So I was going to fall into the urine on the ground.
So I think
there was something coming from the bushes, I swear, as well.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
There was like a rustle in the bushes after your car alarm went off.
You know who the culprit or the lead suspect is on that? We never see him after the episodes. He just kind of vanishes.
You reckon he just lurks in the bushes?
He just kind of disappears.
To watch me wee.
Would you put it past him? That's all I'll say.
I wouldn't.
Anyway, I got a crazy story to tell you that I've been saving for the podcast that I just think is probably the wildest thing that's ever happened on the show. And I think that, well, yeah.
Wait, on the show? I've been on the show every time.
Has it happened while I'm here? No, the wildest thing that has happened while we've been doing the show.
Okay.
Like your story about the lady giving birth in the car park is wild. This is levels above that.
Oh, really?
So I was in you know how we're talking about recently about, we've had a million different terms on the podcast for different things.
Yes.
Milling, coloning, futures tax, etc. And I've always thought about if you're just tuning in and you haven't heard us be able to like define them, like we need definitions, like we need literal definitions of what they are.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting on the lounge and it was a bit of a warm one. So I had the window open next to me.
Sure.
And I was watching TV and I started hearing this like weird humming sound. Like it was and I was like, it sounded like honestly like electrical interference or someone vacuuming in another room. But it got a bit louder and I was like, is that coming from outside? Because you get neighbors and stuff making noise. I'm like, what is that? Kind of sound. I was like, listening.
Sounds a bit extraterrestrial.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. Right. So I'm sitting on the lounge and then I look over, it's inside the house somewhere. And I look into the corner like of the room and it was all kind of warpy. And all of a sudden just vroom. And the only thing I could liken it to would be like an interdimensional portal opened up. This guy came out bleeding, shirt torn, blood all over him. And he looked so desperate. And he's just like, you must read this out on the book club. It is a matter of life and death. Right. And I was like, I've got to get it to Sam. So I don't really know what it's about. Right. I have looked at it a little bit.
Oh.
But it looked very official. I don't know how he managed to keep it so. That might be blood.
It might be.
Yeah.
It looks like a dossier.
Yes.
Some sort of
100%.
like secret intelligence.
Well, let's go through it. I had a little glimpse at it and I really like it. What he's handed me and apparently it has huge ramifications. But I
Wow.
figured what we could do is
For the time-space continuum?
yeah, 100%.
Oh,
so
really?
yes, absolutely. So this is
And this wasn't just Greg being drunk or having smoked some, done some acid.
Well, how would that affect me?
Well,
It's-
yeah.
He's
That was
affecting
going to be my first question. And then I was
Yeah.
like,
the
I'll
guy
skip
doesn't
over
drink.
that.
Yeah. No, so what he's given me is, which is awesome, because I was just thinking at that time about maybe that's why he knew that was the time, like that Asimov book, going back to the moment where I need
Yes.
to make the minor, which is the major something fix or whatever.
oh.
Anyway,
I
it's yeah, so he goes in and makes that change right then because he knew that I was thinking about it. But I was saying
Yeah.
we need definitions for the book club.
Yeah.
And he's given me this. So let me read it out to you. We'll go through a couple of them. And I figured we'll go through a couple now, but like if some of them pop up during the episode, we could refer to this document for
Okay.
the official thing.
So
So
wait,
what?
We're going to know what the words mean, them, aren't we?
yeah, but he's given extra information.
We've got
here.
new terms.
Well, new ramifications.
Oh,
Right. So
okay.
and also just we also have to make sure that these are what we want, like for the book club.
Right.
So we're giving them the thumbs up or the thumbs down. But
Okay.
for real, if we give it a thumbs down, maybe there's another interdimensional portal open up because that might not meant to happen. It's called the Official Pop Punk Book Club Disciplinary Field Guide and Incident Prevention Handbook.
And what prevention?
Incident prevention.
Incident prevention.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's pretty
Okay.
serious stuff.
Yes.
So let's talk about quickly how to read this document. So this handbook exists to preserve order, maintain rating integrity, and prevent avoidable societal collapse caused by poor album analysis.
There have been occasions where societal collapse feels imminent.
We've
You know.
seen the threads breaking, so I can understand that this is where it could go.
Yeah. Who
So-
would have thought just rating some songs would have ramifications? For
Well, apparently so. You don't
Yeah.
ask for this stuff, but sometimes you step on the fabric of time and sometimes it tears, right? That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
It's a classic thing. We've been told that since we were kids, but now it's really coming to life. So I figure let's go through and read a couple. and
Could
then
I
we
just?
can-
I have a question.
Yeah.
What disciplinary action can be taken? There was talk about disciplinary review.
Oh,
If
okay.
you don't use the terms correctly, do we?
I didn't hear any buzzing, do you? There's no portal coming, which means we probably can come up with that.
Okay.
As I said, we'll go through a couple. If we hear them in the episode, we can talk about them when it's pertinent.
Sure.
But number one, we got futures tax. So
Okay.
this should be the episode that we can return people to if they don't understand the definitions. We'll say them all
Yes.
throughout the episode, maybe. Number one, futures tax, which is a noun. The definition, tell me if you agree. The unfair lowering of a song's rating caused by its placement on an exceptionally strong album. When the overall quality of an album is unusually high, a genuinely good song may be judged too harshly simply because it sits beside even better songs rather than being assessed against the broader standard of all albums.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can we get the term cognitive bias sort of thrown in there? I feel like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to seem smarter.
Yeah.
Definition for Greg. You ready?
He's not even in there.
Mentally.
He's still in the bushes.
He's there physically. He's not there mentally. Song good. Other songs more good. Brain gets confused. You call great song fine song because album too strong. This is wrong. Don't do that.
Greg.
Greg. Greg fine.
Sorry, can we say that again? I just need to process that a bit.
You need to process the Greg
yeah.
definition. Song good. Other songs more good. Brain gets confused. You call great song fine song because album too strong. This is wrong. Don't do that.
So this is the Greg translation of every term.
No, futures tax. Should we change it to the Sam translation?
Yeah.
You've got the definition and
I
then
feel
you've got a
great.
simplified definition for people like Greg or
Yeah.
yourself.
Okay, cool.
It's him. Example usage. Due to a lack of perspective, Sam rated a good track on a Jimmy Eat World album as a fine, which unfairly lowered the album's final score by 0.5 point. Jim Adkins from Jimmy Eat World watched the episode, took it personally, and declined Jason's future interview request.
Ooh.
Distraught, Jason spent 3 months walking slowly through the rain at night in a leather jacket until a distracted diplomat swerved to avoid him, missed a peace summit in Geneva, and accidentally triggered a major international incident that historians now refer to as the Futures Conflict. Sam really should not have future taxed that song. So as you can see,
That's-
there's significant repercussions here if we get some of these
Yes.
wrong, which is why we're so serious on this show.
Which countries were involved in the futures?
I only have the
conflict?
information he's given
Okay.
me.
All right. I'm just
maybe further knowledge will complicate matters further.
Yeah.
It's better to not dabble in that stuff, I think.
Yeah.
And then notes, futures tax is not the same as personal preference. It refers specifically to rating distortion caused by album context. Repeat offenders may require temporary exposure to average records for perspective restoration.
Oh,
I think that's pretty fair,
who gets to decide which of the average records?
You.
Okay.
even if it's you. Right, so let's get
You
through
just
it.
have to listen to I'm Lost Without You 10 times. That will just give you all the perspective you need.
And if that isn't enough for you to never do it in the first place,
Yeah.
we don't know what is. All right. Next one was a term actually that we introduced on a recent episode, which was the They're Only Chasing Safety Emo Book Club number 2 special. Fatigued. as a prefix to rating, which is a new one that we haven't actually clarified. I said it for, I made it up, I think. It was for dangerous business walking out your front door.
This is sort of the equivalent of it's been overplayed.
Yeah. Well, the definition I've got here is a qualifying prefix applied to a high rating when a song is objectively deserving of that score, but repeated overexposure has temporarily reduced the listener's emotional enthusiasm. A fatigued rating acknowledges that the song remains by all lawful standards a crown or a great tier track, even if the reviewer is personally exhausted by hearing it for the 9,000th time.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're putting aside your fatigue to rate it more objectively.
Yeah, what you think it should be, but objective to your subjectivity. It's a confusing thing because objective would be everyone, right?
Yeah.
Sort of. Outside the human mind, I guess.
Yeah.
Definition of Greg, songs still crown, you just sick of it. Problem is you, not song.
Yep.
I think that's fair.
Yep. Look in the mirror.
Example usage. Sam downgraded a crown track to a good because he had heard it 17,000 times over the last 3 years. Consequently, the song fell off the official PPBC Hall of Fame playlist. We must do that in the future. That's pretty good to know.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to do that. Making it one song shorter. This caused a listener to reach for another playlist while driving, drift into the fenced development side of a children's hospital, and destroy the only load-bearing temporary wall on the project. Already
children's hospital.
Yeah, I know. This is horrible stuff, man. We've got to be careful. Already operating at maximum budget, the hospital could not afford the rebuild and construction was permanently abandoned. Sam should not have ignored fatigue for protocol.
Oh, there are no kids in the children's hospital at the time.
No, they're just developing it.
Thank you. That's an important detail.
Where the sick kids go if there's no hospital.
Yeah, I know.
So still bad.
I know.
Then notes, this designation exists to separate genuine quality assessment from temporary listener burnout, preventing the unlawful downgrading of songs that have simply suffered from excessive familiarity. It is most commonly applied to crown tier songs that have been culturally unavoidable for extended periods. Misuse of the term to protect mediocre songs is considered fraud and is punishable under PPBC law.
Oh.
Yeah. Can't just say that it's fatigued just to protect that. Like,
yeah, I like that.
Lower songs. Yeah. I think we should do one more, right? I think one that I think is going to be really hard to communicate because only the three of us are going to hear what it's called.
Yes. Well, do we need a new name for this so that we can talk about it freely?
I think people recognize it by the bleep.
Yes. Okay.
So technically it's written down as artist name redacting.
Yes.
Right?
This is top secret.
We call it.
Yeah.
The definition is the act of being lured into an album by one exceptionally strong single only to discover that the remaining track list is a catastrophic waste of terrible and bad tier material. This occurs when a song creates the false impression that the record will maintain a comparable standard, resulting instead in emotional betrayal, wasted time, and a renewed distrust of optimism.
Yeah.
Don't try to go back through the episodes and try to find the album that it was because this happened in the BC PPBC and we will not reference it again, but it was not a good time for both of us.
No. We will reveal that, I reckon, on the last ever episode.
Yeah.
That'll be the last thing we do on the episode before we of the show before we sign off.
See you later, guys. Definition for Greg. One song good. You get excited. You play whole album. Big mistake. Rest of album bad. Very bad. Now you are angry and trust nobody. An episode is wasted.
Yep.
Example usage. Jayson heard the lead single, declared it an absolute banger, and insisted on the full album had to be covered in the book club. After 43 minutes of the musical equivalent of betrayal, Sam rated the record accordingly on air, unaware that the cousin of the singer from was listening at a tire shop only a few suburbs away. By nightfall, word had spread. Several utes were seen circling the PPBC studio, and Sam was forced to fake his own death using a stolen jet ski and a misleading Facebook post. The jet ski theft caused a scheduling gap in the local council meeting, delaying approval for a flood barrier project and resulting in the complete administrative collapse of 2 coastal suburbs.
Whoa.
Jayson really should not have that album. Lastly, notes, a true requires at least one genuinely excellent song surrounded by material so poor it feels personally insulting to listen to. The artist's name remains permanently redacted, and this is important, people should know this, due to their documented proximity to Jayson and Sam's hometown and the widely accepted belief that publicly insulting their album would result in direct physical consequences.
Do we have any basis to believe that?
Just the fact that they are tough dudes.
Are they?
Well, yeah. Please note, this policy is not legal cowardice, but basic survival. So... I mean, as you can see, there's some serious things. If we run into any more definitions along the way, that's 3 of them for people to get started and ones that we're...
we can add to this as we go.
Of course we can. Maybe that's why it's paperclip. We can just keep adding paper.
So it's been left with us now, or is this person from the future going to return and continue to update us?
I think it's important that we keep this one. Maybe they might bring new ones in the future.
Yep.
Imagine how weird would it be if they bring a term in we haven't used yet.
Oof.
have to start forcing it in.
That's good.
Anyway, so you start a podcast thinking have a bit of fun. The whole fate of the universe is on your hands.
And with that in mind, we push forward with that heavy burden. Are you wearing a Gosford Tennis Club shirt?
Yeah. So my shirt says, I survived the, 70-year anniversary of the tournament of the Gosford Tennis Club.
70-year anniversary tournament, yeah.
Yeah, I just found it at a shop and I was like, that's cool. But it feels a bit like stolen valor because I did not play in that tennis club. But I'm representing it. Like people, tennis fans will be looking at me being like, were you there?
And if you were to play tennis, why would you go to Gosford to do it as well?
Yeah, true. Gosford's like an hour away for us. I wasn't even going to mention this, but one of the funniest things when I think about tennis that I nearly brought up when Ben was here was he was such a little shit in school. And we did, I think I mentioned that we did bowling and he put up on the screen Harry Para testicles and we're only there for one term. But then we just kept going. We'd always leave sport to the last minute to pick it. So we'd always get put in like the worst sports
We did
ever.
the shit sports.
We did. And we'll save the
Well, we deliberately looked for sports.
Low supervision.
Low supervision. You could just cruise.
Yeah.
You could get up to mischief. Like squash was one we did for a while.
We'll save the squash story for when we get Ben back because that was a really funny one. Okay. But just a little side note, we did tennis. We did it a couple times because tennis was never full. So we would always do tennis. And Ben and we never did anything at tennis. We'd just sit around. And the teachers who got put on that were like, this is a laugh anyway. We're not going to do anything about it. But I just remember there was a time where there was 2 tennis courts in the top area of school, if you remember. And there was like tennis court here, and then a massive umpire chair.
Yeah.
And Ben was up in the umpire chair. And the teacher was obviously like, hey, come on, stay within my sight. Like, come over here, Ben. And Ben's like, sitting up in the chair. He just didn't listen. And she's like, come over here. Like, and she's like, Ben, I'm telling you, get down off there and come over here, whatever. And do you remember this?
Yes.
He hopped down off the umpire's chair and just scraped it across the entire tennis court. Everyone's just watching him
really slowly
waddle as he's like dragging this massive. I thought it was bolted down. He just dragged it across the entire.
Oh, it's the worst sound too on that like synth. No, it's
like almost corky, rubbery.
Yeah,
tennis court material. But it's just scratching the shit out of it, and like he's just dragging it across, and then he just pulled it up and I thought he was going to get, expelled for that or suspended. But the teacher's like, oh my goodness, as long as you're over here. And he just hopped back up in the umpire's chair looking down at everyone while she was trying to talk to everyone. Man, anyway.
He had a tennis court at his house, remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember lighting tennis balls on fire and playing?
No, you two talked about that there.
Okay.
I remember after we had left high school and we caught up with Ben, after not seeing him for years, going back to his house after and trying to make of all things, the Blink-182 flaming fuck sign on his driveway with deodorant matches.
Yes.
So we do that. And then, he had a big fire extinguisher that we're trying to put it all up. And then I was like, wow, we are like in our 20s, but it is just the exact same. Anyway, so, by the way, before we get into the stuff we're going to do, we should probably tell everybody what's going on, which is really funny. We made a decision and it's like going to be a month till everyone hears it. This is going to be 2 weeks. So we
haven't even consulted with people. We made a decision
We did, yeah. So on a real level, because it's admin, talk about how things are going on. Things are just super busy at the moment for me at work. And also I've got a baby coming any day now. Sam's got a newborn still, like pretty much got a baby.
I've still got it. Haven't given it away.
Is it out of the newborn stage yet?
Well, I don't know when that. So it's 3 months old.
Okay, so
she's 3 months old.
Yes, and you're also managing 2 other kids and stuff. So we always made an agreement when we started this podcast that we didn't want it to turn into a job and just to keep it fun. And if it ever didn't get fun, we would, that's where we'd like, call it, because we would hate to. This sounds harsh to say call it, but you know what I mean. We wouldn't want to continue if we weren't having fun.
Yeah,
and not at all saying that we're not having fun. We absolutely are, but it's just. We're trying to get ahead of that, of it being a chore. And just because it's like we are literally doing this ourselves, it is like genuinely like a full-time job sometimes or a part-time job just getting these episodes edited because they're so long. So we've made the decision for the foreseeable future, but depending on how it goes, we might think it's actually probably better anyway of moving to fortnightly episodes. So we give everyone such long episodes each week. I'm surprised if anyone listens to the whole thing every week anyway. But by making it fortnightly, it gives us more time to. We've always dreamed about with this show inviting up, like when we had Steve-O here. I mean, of course, we live in an obscure town in Australia. Like, we're not going to have heaps of people coming through here. But the idea of maybe doing like online interviews with artists and getting them to chat about the albums. But it's just so hard because even when we're on break, we've got so much stuff to catch up on that we just don't get around to it. So we want to move to fortnightly so we can do more stuff, make the show better. And also something that I don't think we've talked about, but I wanted to say, we always said that we'd make the episodes as long as they need to be, but we have found ourselves trying to not let them go too long because the edits take forever for the show. But because it's fortnightly, we can be a bit more loose with how long the episodes go.
Yeah.
So rather than try to we're always shooting for an hour and a half. It'd always be like an hour 45. If episodes go 2 hours long, 2 hours 15, who cares? Like we'll do that too we won't try to trim the episodes anymore. We'll just give you everything we've got. And because we only get one shot at doing the album anyway, so we need to give it our full discussion.
And I think sometimes the best parts are when we go off on random tangents.
Yeah,
and
that's what people say. A lot of people say to me that's what they listen for.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I can just say that like there's times where we've said, oh, we need to be a bit faster through the songwritings, etc. But why? If we've got stuff to say, we've got stuff to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. So we're hopefully going to deliver a little bit longer episodes every 2 weeks though, moving forward. People aren't going to hear this till like a month after when we made the change, because we're
talking into the future.
We are. That's right. Just like that. We are those guys. Well, we are. I mean, it has to be. Maybe that was me that came through the portal. He was doing this because he didn't. You can't see yourself. Don't look at me. Anyway, so moving forward, fortnightly episodes. Hopefully, they get increased higher quality, which is awesome.
Yeah,
it should be awesome. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about considerations before we move forward.
Yes.
We had albums to listen to throughout the week. Do you want me to go first?
Is that what we're calling this segment now?
No, we're not. We had a name for it, remember? Blowing on soup.
Blowing on soup?
That's right. It's time to blow on some soup. That's from some random commenter who just spell checked the wrong way, bowling for soup.
Yeah.
So it's time to blow on some soup.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense. Do you want me to go first, Bart?
Yes, please.
So you gave me Magnolia Park's Baku's Revenge, I think it was called, to listen to.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
What year is this? 2020s.
2022.
2022.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so I'm going to tell you before because that's what we do. We listen and I'll show you, and we'll see if we're going to put it in the book club. My, thumb is going. Where is it going? I'm going to give this a medium yes. Like, I'm intrigued to check it out. It's not my favorite sound, but a part of me is like, my first reaction was, I don't really care about it. Then I was like, hang on, the whole point of the book club is to push our boundaries and find stuff that we don't particularly like, we wouldn't think we'd like.
Yep.
And maybe this is something that I'd really like. Who knows? I don't know. So it's like a maybe, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Not like there's other ones that we've done that I'd be keen to do quicker.
Sure.
But if we do this, I wouldn't be offended. I'd be keen to check it out. We're always saying we want to hear new ones, and this is 2022.
Yes.
And
good for you, being open-minded.
Yeah, for what we actually call like, wasn't that long ago. That's just like yesterday, 2022, So I'll show you a little bit of the single, I think, off this album, just because I feel like it might be a fair representation of their stuff. It's called Feel Something with featuring Derek Sanders. And then I might just show you a little bit of a song called Radio Reject, which is just something that sounds a bit more pop punky, just to give you an idea of how they kind of sound.
Yep.
My thoughts going in before we show you, and then you just tell me your thoughts. It's strange because it's like when people say pop punk, it's like poppy punk. This sounds like pop music, like that is popular at the moment with with punk like kind of just swirled into it. Like pop punk swirled into it. It's strange. It is a really strange cross of genres. Like some of it is like
I'm excited.
Trap-based electronic crossover kind of stuff. Anyway, I'll show you this.
With like hip hop vocals?
No.
Okay.
There's none of that. It's just it just has like in the like electronics part. It's almost like how Turnstile do electronic, not in the same way at all, but how they have electronic stuff in their music.
That did come to mind when you said that.
Yeah.
Listen, party.
We'll be right back. So do you know what I mean? Like pop music, usually it's like poppy of the 90s or early 2000s. This is like pop punk. It makes so much sense. It's like pop music of today.
Yes.
With pop punk mixed in. It's strange.
Yeah. I think at first I heard like Machine Gun Kelly type.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that
stuff.
makes sense. Yeah.
And then the more we listened to it, and it was mainly on that second track, I started hearing Waster.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned while we were listening to it, Asleep with a Gun.
One of the songs sounds like Asleep with a Gun, yeah.
The Waster song I like the least. But other aspects of it reminded me of like the good part of Waster I quite like.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'd be interested. My first reaction was it's a little bit, it's just not for me. It's still good. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say it's bad at all. But I was like, I don't know. But hang on. I'm misinterpreting the whole point of this segment. It's like, would I give it a go on the book club? Yes. I'd give this a go on the book club.
Cool.
I think that in my mind, I was like, how do I feel about this at the moment? You know what I mean?
Yes.
I also just like some of the other ones we've heard. I'm more excited to do that. But I still am
that's
keen.
okay though.
Yeah.
I think it's very poppy.
Yeah.
But I still enjoyed it. And I like hearing new, like pop punk is so diverse now. It's way more diverse than it was in like the early 2000s when we were getting into it.
Yeah.
And so it brings in all these different types of styles. We've spoken about this on the podcast before. And so I like the idea of like trying different types, different forms of that. And I think this is kind of, as you say, it's adding in some kind of like contemporary pop elements, but then
of what is pop now, not pop back in the day.
But then there's it's drawing on some influences of like, I would say early 2000s pop punk a little bit. I'm intrigued.
How wild that usually when people create pop punk now, it's like modern, the punkness is more modern and the popness is the poppiness of the 2000s.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But now this is like the punkiness of the 2000s is the popness of today. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. So that's a yes from you?
I would, yes.
I think it'd be wrong of us to talk so much across so many episodes about wanting to hear new releases and then be like, no, straight away as soon as we get a chance. All right, cool. So add that one into the pool. Anyway, so the album you had to listen to was...
I had the Hoteliers.
Yeah.
Home.
Hoteliers.
How do you say it?
The Hotelier.
The Hotelier, sorry.
Yeah. Home and the Hoteliers.
There is no place there is.
I said it wrong before. I was like, home, like no place is there. But it's no
home.
Place there is. I think it is there at the end. It's backwards. There is no place like
everyone
home.
knows the album.
Yep. I said it wrong on the last episode though. Got the last two words around the wrong
sure.
way.
And so my immediate thoughts when I listened to it were, because you got me interested because you were like,
there's no need to play for me. I know this album, yeah.
Yeah, no, I won't. You got me intrigued because you were saying that there were elements of pop that...
I said because we've done pop, I think that we could do this. I don't think there's so much pop elements in it.
Anyway, you having said that made me kind of go, oh, this is for me. I'm going to get into this.
Oh, yeah.
The first thing I heard from it though, or the first thing that jumped out at me was that it sounded to me like John Nolan in Straight Like Run.
Yeah, Straight Like Run. That's what I'm hearing in it that
so
I haven't heard.
much.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yep.
And then there's also... I don't know whether it was because you had mentioned it, but I got a pop energy from it. Not that like the musicality is much like pop.
No,
there's a couple of times when they use slightly dissonant chords. They're a little bit puppish, but like
it's the raw energy. I think
it's an energy, yeah. And not the sound, the quality of his vocals, but like the vocal style is at times like the singer from
pouring
pop.
your heart out.
Yeah, yelly kind of vocals. Yeah. I liked it. I would like to listen to it more. I didn't get a chance to listen to the entire album. I would say I probably listened to maybe 3/4.
That's it. Because I actually like that because I think, as I was saying, one of the biggest payoffs on any album ever, I think, is the way that album ends. So
I haven't got to that point.
If you haven't gotten it, it'll be if we do it in the book club.
Yep.
So you're saying you would like to do it?
I'll give that one a thumbs up.
I would too. I think that just for the sake of going through and rating it, see how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Because it is a very moving album. And I think having that at the end of the book club, to hear that ending in a book club episode and getting kind of live reaction for it. Not live, but you know what I mean? Like to do it properly rather than I glimpsed over it for this segment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant within the broader pop punk universe, I think.
It's our podcast, do what we want.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'd blow some soup on that.
I never saw it as like inappropriate. Now I get it. That's funny. Some comments though, while we get served. Do you want to pick the new albums for next fortnight? We got a comment on the Seaway episode that just kind of went out. Someone said, love it, guys. Oh, sorry, I should get a name here. Sorry, I just couldn't see it. The Shoogie Shoot on YouTube said, love it, guys. I think a cool, underrated band to talk about is Ann Arbor. Their debut is 10 out of 10 to me. I've never listened to them, I don't think. So that's a really cool recommendation. So thanks. We'll do that. Maybe we should, honestly, let that be my album for next week.
Good.
Ann Arbor debut. If we get a recommendation, like how's that? Maybe if listeners let us know we'll immediately don't even use the book for one of us. I'll do the Ann Arbor debut.
Listeners into us.
Yep.
That's good.
Because people have said like, oh, this album means a lot to me. And this is a thing we can screen it to see if they're actually giving us good advice or bad advice.
10 out of 10. That's
that would mean
putting yourself out there.
Flame.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 the whole way through. But we've also got another comment from Dirty Gore saying Cheshire Cat and Dude Ranch are Blink's. And people do not. Sorry, I haven't got my glasses on, and people do not. They leave a lot of errors in their spelling and grammar.
Right.
Cheshire Cat and Dude Ranch are the best Blink-182 albums. Also, bonus points if you own Cheshire Cat without the 182, like Blink print.
Oh,
it's pretty cool.
Indeed.
And then someone also said, "Does this look infected?" They think that's the best Sum 41 song.
Oh,
and
they should be on this podcast.
Best Sum 41 album.
Yeah.
There's a seat right here for you because we totally agree. Here's a bit of a 2 hot takes for you.
Yes, I like that.
Someone said, I don't know if I've read some of these out. I try to delete them when I read them, but I might be repeating them. First Boxcar album I prefer to most Blink albums.
Interesting.
I'd thought that was a hot take, but to most Blink albums. I was going to say to some Blink albums, but actually no, Boxcar, yeah, to most Blink albums, I would agree. How much is most? Blink has like 19 albums.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like a slightly spicy take.
Yeah,
I wouldn't call it a hot take because
you do the math and you realize that it's probably about 4 Blink albums are like better than Boxcar, but
but out of the
entire catalog, I'd say probably most.
Yeah,
but it's just so good. And then someone said Enema is and I said boo and just put tomato,
Enema is
tomato emojis and just throwing tomatoes at it. All right, let's have a flick.
Pick me an album. Pick me some soup to blow on.
Then we'll get on to a Premi. But book smells good.
Has there been an episode where you haven't said that?
No, but I thought I had to say it.
Okay. Stop.
Okay. All right. A day to remember, What Separates Me From You, which is 2010, and another 2010 album from Quiet Drive called Quiet Drive. I'm going to say I want you to listen to Quiet Drive. I've never heard of them before in my life.
Okay.
I know Day to Remember a little bit, so I know kind of what they are. I don't know about that album in particular. Maybe someone now is going, no, that's their best album. So pass it. That's true. Let us know. And
we probably do need to do a Day to Remember album at some point.
Yes. We have to find which one is right for us. But I don't know what Quiet Drive is. And to be honest, the album cover, if you look at it, looks a little bit like local bandish. That's interesting to me rather than...
What does that mean? It's a bit like when I
like obscure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Which is cool.
Yeah. You didn't mean
it. Not like
when I said
about Seaway being a high school band.
So sorry, it was Quiet Drive. What was the album? Anyway.
Quiet Drive by Quiet Drive.
Quiet Drive by Quiet Drive.
2010.
2010. I'll be able to find that.
Alrighty. So that's it. So Quiet Drive by Quiet Drive. And what am I doing? I'm doing the Ann Arbor album that the guy recommended. Their debut, whatever that may be. It's good. Good Rex. And
I'm excited.
I like that. If people genuinely are like, no, I want you to consider something, just leave a comment and we'll force it into the considerations. Otherwise, we're flicking the book.
Can you imagine if that legitimately is a 10 out of 10 album?
Imagine that. I would. Let's fly them out.
Yep.
For real. Wherever they're from. Just
Bolivia or something.
Well, we get listened to 50 countries. So,
speaking of which, we've got a shout
out to Hong Kong.
Yep.
So I've already had that prepped, loaded in the barrel.
Oh, good. Okay. You've learned it in the specific regional dialect. And
No, yeah. So I'm trying to remember each country. Shout everybody out. We'll get through all of them eventually. Now we've halved the amount of releases with the 4 now. It's going to take us double as long. Anyway, you got a Premi for us?
Hit it, Greg. Greg? He's fucking in the bushes again.
He finds a new song from a brand new record, then tries to give it his best 10 seconds. That's all it takes for him to tell you what he reckons. It's premature evaluation with Sam.
All right. Do you know the band Koyo?
No. Is this another quiff, cough, coif thing?
It could be.
I'm not cough, coif.
Oh, we could add that to the...
Yep.
Not sure what that means in the context of the podcast, but anyway.
And whose pronunciation?
Yes. What does Greg say about it?
Yep. Never let him be.
So it's Koyo.
No, I don't know.
I wasn't aware of them. I didn't know about them. They've got an album coming out called Barely There. It comes out in a couple of days, I think.
Oh, really?
So there were a couple of little things about this that got me in. I was like, this might be for me. When I was reading about this album on punkrocktheory.com. First is the album's 28 minutes long.
Oh, yeah.
But they wrote it for me.
Sorry, I'm just watching the book club. It's like watching an episode, just hearing you chat while I'm just looking up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get your popcorn out.
28 minutes. Eat popcorn with you. Get your popcorn out.
Hold your thoughts. We'll get there.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing. The second thing is this description. All of the band's familiar Long Island DNA is there.
Ooh,
including hooks of Taking Back Sunday.
Yeah, knew it.
Yeah.
Brand new.
I was like, ooh.
They're Long Island
They don't
too,
mention, I think so, yeah, but they don't mention brand new. Anyway, so I was like, this could be good. Took a listen to the song Irresistible.
Mm-hmm.
My premature evaluation is, look, I wouldn't put it in the category of Taking Back Sunday.
Okay.
Doesn't really sound like Taking Back Sunday. To me, it reminded me of the Census Fail album Still Searching.
Oh, I love that
which you loved.
I love that album. Yeah. Has what, I say that makes no difference by Sum 41 is like the most perfect textbook pop punk song.
Yeah.
I think Can't Be Saved by Census Fail is like the perfect textbook emo pop song. Like a pop emo.
Oh, that is good.
We need to coin that term rather than pop punk, pop emo. It's like it's a certain genre.
We're not going to get into the semantics of defining all the different subgenres.
No, I just think we could just call it pop emo for like, it's our little term.
Yep.
Nice to know. But everybody else can
We'll need like a volume like that thick. We want to start defining all the terms.
The 500 pop punk club. When you listen to the episode, it just sounds like another language.
Imagine if we tried to do it though, like map the tree of like the different derivatives of pop punk and what they all mean.
I was talking about, I thought you were saying about our definitions for our thing. Just keep adding them to that. But I know what you mean now, like mapping all the genres out. I told you brought that up before, and it excites me a little bit. I'd like to try to have a crack at
it is a you thing.
It's like in School of Rock, he's at the blackboard, he's drawing all the genres and where they link and stuff.
Cello, bass guitar.
No, cello, bass guitar. It's cello, you got a bass.
No.
Cello, you got a bass.
No, I don't think you're right. Anyway,
we are legit going to settle this right now. Not have to like let it. Sam does this. I don't agree, and then just disappears into thin air.
Here we go. Societal collapse is on the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I would say this particular song by Koyo, I'd give it a good.
Before we
to
start,
great.
what did you say? You said good to great for this song.
Good to great.
When you said it wasn't in the field of Taking Back Sunday, I was thinking you're saying, is it just not as good as Taking Back Sunday, or doesn't it sound
It's
like
not as good as Taking Back Sunday, but I wouldn't say it sounds a whole
both.
lot like Taking
Okay.
Back Sunday. Yeah.
All right, now to settle
It's
this.
not bad, but it's just not. It's not amazing either.
Right. I care, but I also care about this. What did you say? Cello, bass guitar?
Yeah.
I said cello, you got a bass?
Here, please.
I'm going to get stroking
What was
by
your
Jack
name?
Black.
Katie.
I'd like
Katie,
to be
what was that
stroking by
thing you
Jack
were
Black.
playing today? The big thing.
Cello.
Okay, this is a bass guitar, and it's the exact same thing, but instead of playing like this, you tip it on the side. Cello, you've got a bass.
I know my School of Rock, dude.
Okay, so MXPX.
Finally.
It's taken like a season and a half for us to get to an MXPX album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What episode's this? Like 9?
It's episode 8 of season 2.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, I can't remember how we did, but we're nearly at 30 episodes or 20.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you said we were going to come up. There's going to be some anniversary coming up. Is this our 20th album?
It is. This is,
This is excluding the Emo Book Club.
Yeah. It's our 20th pop punk album.
Oh.
I'm sure of that. What a cool one to do it on.
Yeah. I was
Because-
thinking maybe it's too late to do this, but if we do like a top, show them all ranked 1 through 20, because we've got our top 10 boards.
I've got my 20 ready to go.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, I can probably pull those up pretty quickly.
Yep.
It's probably not the album. Oh, so we're doing Before Everything and After by MXPX. If you hadn't already realized from Jayson's Eat Popcorn.
if you literally listen to your podcast on shuffle and don't look at what the name of the episode is called. Oh, man. That's fine. I was going to say, we haven't put out something in the cancel folder for a while. We're being good. I figured that we could also, I was thinking we need to do like an episode where we don't swear a whole episode.
Do you mean to make the editing easier, or just to see for a challenge whether we can?
Oh, it would make the editing easier.
Oh, okay.
But no, I don't care about doing the edits for the swear words, but it was just to see if we could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Owen continually asks me when he can come on an episode, so maybe we time it with that.
Oh, yeah, yeah, we should do that for sure.
Yeah, every Sunday night, he's like, Daddy, can I come to your podcast tonight? Sorry, buddy.
Sorry, buddy. I go do the podcast to get away from you. But this is an album that Sam and I actually have nostalgic attachment to, because when I first moved over to high school to Warners Bay, this is what you were listening to around the time that I first met you. Like,
that would make sense.
You introduced me to this album, I'm pretty sure, and I got into it. And I remember that I'm pretty sure you showed me this album, and I tie it to you, and I tie it to early year 9. So I'm talking about like before I really started finding the music that I really loved.
I was on this crap.
What?
I was listening to this crap.
No. But it's like, you know, when like when you're like later year 9, year 10, like you're actively trying to find bands and albums and stuff. I was more just like whatever people gave me, because I had a friend of mine who gave me like a data CD full of like every metal band under the sun. He got me into tons of different bands that I'd never heard before, and I was just kind of just consuming what people gave me.
Yep.
And you showed me this album, and I very much tie it to like early high school. But this is such a rare thing for the book club. Any long-term, or even just anyone who's listened for more than an episode would know that I had a habit when I was younger of getting an album, but listening to like only a couple of songs.
Yeah.
This album is no different. I did it for this album as well. But every other album that we've done that I used to do that for, I had also throughout my life also listened to the rest of the album as I got older. This I haven't touched really since high school.
Oh.
So me listening through to this album this time was the first time that I heard the rest of it. Because I just had the songs.
Sorry, even back in year 9 when we were listening to this, you didn't listen to the full album.
No, I never did with any album really that I had back then. Even to when I was like 19, I was still doing that. It was rare for me to like actually listen past that.
I'm very excited to hear it.
It's just been, this is literally the most purest things of my thoughts from high school.
Yep.
Nothing in the middle, like getting, like clouding the nostalgia.
Did you know MXPX before that? Or was this your introduction to MXPX?
I would have heard like Chick Magnet.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I think my introduction to MXPX was through the video game Sunny Garcia Pro Surfing or something.
Okay,
which I think an older cousin of mine might have introduced me to.
All right. I never played that. Is that PlayStation?
It was PS2. There was like
PS2.
a couple of songs on.
I think it was
PS2.
13. Oh, that makes sense.
I don't think it was PS3. Maybe it was PS3.
It wouldn't be PS3. I was thinking it might have been PlayStation 1.
Oh, maybe it was PS3. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it had a couple of songs from Life in General on it. Southbound and something else. And so that was my introduction to MXPX. And Life in General is, like, spoiler alert, my favorite MXPX album.
Right. Okay.
And one of my favorite pop punk albums.
Have you rated it through the book club?
No, I don't think I have. I don't know that we've done it.
No, we haven't done. Oh, we did Life. No, I don't think we did it on this rating system.
Yeah. And I was thinking of doing it for this episode, and then we changed it. We pivoted. And we went to this album, which I think is good because we've got like a personal connection to that for the reason that you've just said. But I remember, so that was my introduction to the band, those slightly older songs. And then I remember getting this album. We were on holidays on the Gold Coast around like summer holidays. I thought it was the end of year 9. But maybe it's the end of year 8. Well, it came out in September 2003.
Oh, it can't be that. You're right. It must have been later year 9.
Yeah.
I just tied it to when I first moved schools.
Which is interesting.
All right, okay.
Because I distinctly remember, like, I was like obviously massively into pop punk at the time, and I was like, we were on holidays, and I said to like, Mum, you got to take me to a music shop. I want to get a new CD, and I went and just picked out this randomly.
This came out in September 2003.
Yeah, so I think it must be the end of 2003 when I got it.
Right. Because I remember our first demo that we recorded. I was 15 when we recorded that. I could work all this out, but I remember we recorded that. I remember I have a core memory of walking with you at the top of the ovals, which was right near, coincidentally, the tennis courts that I just talked about.
Yeah.
And you were saying about how the mixing was coming along. You're like, what do you think it would sound like? Like, what albums do you think it would sound similar to? And I said, I think it's going to sound like Before Everything and After. It just had similar drum tones and stuff. And you're like, oh, right.
When were you recording?
I was 15. So for some reason, I've got
the first half of year 10 then.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I tied it to school, but I tied it to way earlier than that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wrong about that.
It's funny. Like I've got a really clear memory of when I went and got this CD, and I was massively into this CD when I came out.
Yeah, right.
And it's interesting.
What made you want to get it? Just because of the game?
I think MXPX I was into, and it obviously came out recently, and yeah, I don't think I'd heard any songs off it. I think I just went and bought it.
Yeah, right.
I think.
Cool album cover. It's pretty like an attractive album cover, like that'll pull your eyes to it in the store.
And like it, so I don't want to spoil my views about the album too early, but like, it feels very of the time.
Okay.
Like it's very 2003.
Yep.
Like it's super produced.
Yep.
Super poppy. And I wouldn't say I've come back to this album much recently. Like I haven't listened to this album.
Yep.
Maybe since high school.
Well, I haven't listened to it since high school, I don't think.
Whereas I gravitate back to Life in General, which I think is still like all time one of my favorite pop punk albums.
Yeah, right. Okay. I honestly don't remember much about Life in General, to be honest. I haven't listened to MXPX a lot. They waved at me, remember? Told you that in the Blink episode, but when I saw Motion City Soundtrack and they waved at me from the green room.
Yeah, we've seen these guys live.
Yeah, I've heard them outside sitting on a fence.
Yeah.
But and that would have been around the time of this album, sort of.
I think it must have been that tour.
Maybe, because we were on our piece, so it was like a year later. It could have been that tour, but just, they were coming out a bit later.
Oh, if we're on our piece, maybe it's a bit later.
But also, people don't come out to Australia straight away, so it might have been a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I liked MXPX. I didn't love them, as in like, wow, I love MXPX. There's other bands I liked more. But yeah, I think I might have heard like Chick Magnet and maybe a couple other songs from Life in General or whatever. But
Responsibility was their other big.
That's
really
the big one.
Song?
That was the big one that I remember. Yep, I remember that one for sure. Because there was just like random songs you'd hear, like that, like Kalen by Unwritten Law, like that. Just that era.
Yeah.
You just hear the most random.
That's a great song.
Kalen's a fantastic song. We should do an Unwritten Law album.
We should. We've done that album on the PPBC, whatever it is.
Yeah, get the terms right.
Oh no.
Yeah, okay.
I can never get that one right.
It's the BC PPBC because that's right. It's the BC Before Christ Pre-Podcast Pop Punk Book Club. It says here in the document that according to Wikipedia, the album achieved the band's highest chart position on the Billboard 200, peaking at 51. That's lower than I thought it was going to be. But I was shocked by that. But then now not, because after hearing it, I'm like, well, it's obviously the label boom, produce pop punk, picking the bands that are big and seeing if they can like buy a ticket into the Blink and Sum 41 Newfound Glory lottery of how popular they got.
And I think it makes sense that this was the album of theirs that charted the best because this is like peak pop punk popularity 100%. In the pop culture. Like this is like Good Charlotte, Simple
Yes.
Plan. These bands were all massive at this time. And
Yeah.
this album sounds a lot like, I mean, they've got every member of Good Charlotte featuring on it at some point. It sounds very Good Charlotte at times.
The part that surprised me though is I said, wow, I thought we had found an unappreciated gem of an album. I think we've realized that. This one had been one of my biggest learning curves is we grew up genuinely feeling in the shadow of the bands that we liked as real fans. So like with NoFX, we like War on Errorism, but don't say that because everyone who is a real NoFX fan like Punk and Drublic or something like that. And then we put it online and so many people like, yeah, like I was born in 88 too. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I know that's how I feel.
They're gravitating to our podcast for a reason.
Yeah. So all the times that like, that's why I was really keen to do this album because even though I thought, and we talked about doing life in general, I was like, what if this is another one that people are like, no, that's the album that got me into MXPX. So who knows?
It's I think it's quite different to a lot of their other things. I spent a bit of time this week listening to a few of their other albums as well.
Yep.
I haven't really listened to anything past, they've got an album called Panic that came out in about 2005.
Right.
Which is kind of like very much of that time, if that makes sense. It was kind of like when bands like Amberlin went that slightly darker style, like it's that kind of vibe.
Emo-y, rocky kind of pop punk stuff.
But not full emo, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I haven't really listened to anything past that. But like a lot of their earlier stuff is very like skate punk.
Yeah, for sure.
Whereas this is
punk
like
to skate too. It's just popping on while he's going for a skate.
Yeah. Whereas this is like noticeably different in terms of the production.
Yeah, because it says here that the album was mixed by the Lord Algie brothers.
Yeah.
So like both of them, like bringing both out, like not just pick one. It's like, no, we want this to be really strong. It also says here that producer Dave Durden, oh goodness me, brains are not working. Dave Durden worked with, and the problem is I was about to say something nice. Anyway, worked with some massive artists, including the Rolling Stones, Talking Heads, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Jane's Addiction, Alice in Chains, Anthrax, Social Distortion, and The Offspring. What a bloody lineup of bands that he's worked with. I said, wow. So I looked it up and he turns out he was the engineer on Dirty Work, the Rolling Stones album, I think it's called.
Yeah,
I don't really know Rolling Stones that well. He was the engineer on the self-titled Red Hot Chili Peppers album and he did mixing on Mother's Milk, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
On The Offspring, he was the producer for Ixnay on the Hombre and the producer for Americana.
Ooh.
So that in our genre, they're two really good albums. I know that for sure with Americana. But I found out that he passed away in February in 2025. And I was like, so how about this app's for him? We dedicate this episode to, I'm sorry for saying, I got to do like a dedication to this guy and I call him Dave Durden.
What's his name?
Dave Durden, sorry. So this episode's for Dave.
Interesting to work on like some, not that The Offspring is obscure, but MXPX are slightly more obscure of a punk band, but then also be doing like some of the biggest rock artists of like the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. You're right. Because MXPX like big and then noticeable, as in like they're memorable and they're like, if you know the genre, MXPX is one of the goats.
But a lot of those other artists are more like just more mainstream rock.
Yeah, but exactly. But that's what I'm saying. You go from that and then maybe The Offspring was a bit of a jump, but they were so emerging, you know what I mean? And they were huge. I mean, he did Americana. Like maybe that's also the label just being like, did they have plans of this album reaching that level?
Yeah, maybe.
I can say now, I'm not going to tell you my whole thoughts, but I don't think this album could have ever gotten to like the popness of Americana.
No.
That was huge. Of like how the songs that were on that, even to the point where we say now that those songs the singles weren't even really pop punk at all.
That's right.
What's the Pretty Fly for a White Guy and Why Didn't Get a Job?
Yeah.
Anyway, we should get into it. Even though we talked about, we don't want these episodes, we don't care about the episodes running a bit longer. 16 songs. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh my goodness, 16 songs.
Okay, before.
There's not much to talk about with this one. I'm going to give it a fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look, I said great.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's a really interesting way to open an album. And I'm not sure I've heard anyone else do it.
The whole swapping stations thing I've heard a billion times.
No, but as a way of like introducing the album by featuring songs that are going to come up later on.
Yeah, amongst other stuff too.
That specifically, have you heard?
Yeah, I guess. It was just a bit like, okay, like that's how I felt about it. I was like, okay, it's nothing special here. I think it's fine. Okay. Like I wasn't going, wow, that's a great way to start an album. That really pumps me up. I'm just like, yeah, it is what it is. It's like, didn't hit me in that same way.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess, because they do, like, there's obviously the intro and the outro, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it works well to kind of like bookend the album.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's literally the word I used for the last song. We'll get to that, but that's the word I used.
There's not really anything else to say about it,
No, it's like a little 20-second thing. Alrighty, so track 2, Play It Loud. What'd you give it?
I said Crown.
Me too. I said Crown as well.
Yeah.
I think this is a great one. I used to listen to this back in the day. This is one of the songs that I would listen to.
That opening riff is sick.
Yeah. It's also so memorable of a song. Like it's so, like it's Mount Rushmore-y, or at least in consideration, I think, for me personally, of like pop punk in the era. I love this song.
Yeah, okay.
It's so weird though, because I don't really love songs though that are just about playing the show or writing the song. Like I've never liked, and it's one of my biggest cringe things in songs is when people start songs with like looking down at this paper and don't know what to write, like they're writing about the song. But we haven't come across that, thankfully, in the book club. But that's it. So when people are talking about, I just want to play it loud, that immediately is something that it's not.
I mean, look,
but I love this one.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
If you're after lyrical depth, this might not be the album.
That's a good point.
You.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because you're right. It doesn't get very deep. Funny. You're saying stuff that I have notes for later.
Okay,
for sure.
yeah, cool. I love the energy of the song.
That's me too. So it makes me just think, shouldn't this just be the opener? Like, it should just crack in with this song rather than a 20 minutes, 20 minutes. 20-second little
it's fair. It's
garble before it starts. It's like just 1, 2, 3, that'd be sick. This would be a sick opener at the time that I'm touring if they started with this.
Absolutely.
That would be they walk out to the garble, you know, like the bands have had their walkout song.
The chorus initially, when I put it on this week, I was like, it kind of fell flat for me a little bit. But then the more I listened to it, I was like, oh no, that's a sick chorus. And it does kind of build you up in a good way.
Yeah, MXPX a lot of the times are really draggy and flowy, like with the melodies and stuff. It's not like a anthemic kind of sharp, loud bit that you can catch on to.
Yeah.
It kind of just flows. It's like Jimmy Eat World in a way, where it just has a flowy energy, not like an anthemic energy.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can both obviously get there, but it's like a lot of the times I think that's pretty like typical of their sound. But as I said, so punk rock themes, like we just came to play shows, but but it's fun. Like even if it's thin, like like there's not much to it. But this is just a really fun song. And yeah, I mean, there's not much else for me to say other than like, this is just, for me, a very solid crown.
Yep. And it goes beyond a great, I think, because when you hear it, when you put that on, and like if you put aside the 20-second intro that you don't like, it hits you and you're like, yes, it amps you up.
Especially for the album too. This does everything an opener should do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember looking at that album cover and just being like, you look at band magazines and stuff and be like, oh, tattoos are so cool. Like you just think stuff like that. Like, I'm going to get tattoos. Did you ever have tattoos that you wanted to get?
I never had a particular tattoo, no.
Right. I had ideas that I wanted to get for sure. Yeah.
Why didn't you?
I don't know. I went and looked. I actually met with a tattoo guy about I was going to get my whole arm done with the Metal Gear Rex from Metal Gear Solid. It's like my favorite thing in the world.
Right.
And but he worked out that the railguns crossed over at the back, so it'd have to get fixed. And then I end up going through all those health complications and not being able to do it.
Right.
I'm so glad though that I didn't get the tattoos I wanted to get, because like one of them was like the Super Mario Brothers star behind my arm. I wanted that when I was like 15.
All right, well adjusted. What do you got?
I gave this one a great.
Okay. I said crown for this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you get Green Day vibes?
No, but I know what you mean now. Because it's got that long view kind of
like,
thing.
it's like a swing kind of a beat.
Which is what I typically don't like. So maybe I need to bring this one down.
And I'm pretty sure I gave a crown to that song. We had a pretty heated argument, I think, about that song on the Green Day episode.
We had a big gap in it for sure.
Yeah.
I gave it a good.
Yeah. The Green Day song.
Yeah, that's what I said about me producing for him and telling him to cut the song on the record.
That's right.
I said this one is such an MXPX sounding song because Chick Magnet has a similar... does that one have a swing beat to it as well?
I'm not sure. I don't actually really like that song that much, to be honest.
Right. But anyway, to me, this just sounds like MXPX. When I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's very MXPX.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I think, for me, my favorite part's the pre-chorus.
Yeah.
Where it brings it back to the, like the palm muted guitar. Again, it's super Green Day.
What's the lyrics there?
I'm trying to, give me a second.
Am I the one who's just going crazy and tired of masquerading?
It's before that. It's I need a room in a mental penitentiary.
Yeah. For some reason I thought that was the chorus.
Yeah.
Doctor Say, that's it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That is a solid pre-chorus because in my mind, so good. I was like, that has to be the chorus, and I forgot about the Doctor Say part.
And that's the thing. It's got this really hooky bit.
Yeah.
But it kind of brings it down and then it goes back up again into the chorus.
Sugar culty. You know, I'm bouncing off the walls again.
Yes.
That kind of vibe.
Yes, totally.
You said earlier about how this band could be thrown in the same type of category, bucket, as Good Charlotte and Simple Plan. While I don't so much... I wouldn't like it. I'm not saying you were likening to them. You're saying it can be fit in the bucket. I don't hear much Simple Plan in this, but this song in particular reminds me of Good Charlotte for sure. And as you said, just collecting those members. I said it's maybe a serious song. Like I just realized when I was listening to it, like even though it's kind of, I don't come to MXPX for the depth in lyrics, But the idea being that like, I always just heard it as like fun and ironic, but he could legit be like, I'm struggling. Like,
he could be. I've always seen it as tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really like how the bridge gets really strange. And I think if like maybe I'm just trying to overanalyze something here that isn't there, but there might not be that substance. But the idea being that it works after he gets told he's crazy and the whole song falls apart. And I was like, maybe the song should finish that way. But no, it gets happy again. But then you realize that he's actually, and I didn't like that at first. I was like, even though I did know this song, but hearing it back, I was like, don't just come back to the chorus for the sake of it. Let the song tell the story, you know?
Yeah.
But then he does say that like, but he's all good. He said, the doctor said, I'm not crazy after all.
That's right.
Just take two of these, give me a call.
Yeah.
So he goes, oh, I'm actually fine. But that whole like falling into a pit kind of thing, it was cool. I was like, wow, that's a bit more depth than I expected.
It's a good concept for a song to write a song about that, but do it in at least apparently tongue-in-cheek way.
Yeah.
It
just hit me when I was finally sitting down to do my notes. I was like, what if I'm just like singing along like Hey Ya by Outkast, and it turns out it's actually a really sad song.
Yes.
It's like I'm actually struggling with my mental health. Everybody's just like, doctor said.
It's such a banging chorus.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I just, for me, it didn't have the energy of Play It Loud.
Yeah.
So I was like, to me, I was like, it's just a really solid great.
Yeah.
Hard great,
That's
if you will.
I can't get across the scales of different songs.
Did we do that one?
Like a hard crown?
A hard crown? We did Fatigued.
We probably should add hard crown.
I think we've got it. No, we have it in here. I told you we'd read them out as we come across them.
Oh.
So let's go through it quickly. So a hard crown is qualifying prefix or a hard great used to indicate the highest possible certainty within a rating category. A hard rating confirms that a song does not merely qualify for that tier, but stands at the top of it.
Okay.
Specifically, a hard crown refers to a premium banger of exceptional status, while a hard flame refers to a song of the highest levels of emotional resonance, a song so personally affecting that its placement is beyond discussion and should not be questioned by civilians under any circumstances.
Whoa. So we can't even debate it.
No, not with each other. Because remember, like we've said that, like, it's a hard crown for me. Sort of thing. So it's cool.
Hard flame.
Definition for we haven't had a hard great before, and this is a hard great for me.
Do you need a hard great?
Nah, but I just said it anyway. I didn't mean to plan this, but it gave me just to read it. The
dossier is the dossier.
That's right.
If it's in there, it's in there.
It's in there. But we both agreed on the Seaway episode that Freak was a hard crown. We both said that was a hard crown.
Did we? I don't remember saying that. Okay.
Definition for Greg: song not maybe crown, song very crown. No discussion. Sit down. Example usage. Sam referred to a track as barely a crown, and Jayson was forced to stop the recording as a strange man crashed urgently into the studio. He was covered in blood, his clothes were dirty and torn. Might be the same guy who gave me this.
Yeah.
And he could not get a single word out before collapsing, barely conscious. The sounds of what seemed to be dinosaurs were heard outside.
Whoa.
As Sam moved closer, he was just able to make out the man's final words. Sam, for the sake of humanity, do not call that song anything less than a hard crown.
Jeff Goldblum?
Maybe. It's in Malcolm. Notes, this prefix exists to distinguish true upper tier excellence from borderline cases such as soft crowns or soft flames, which remain under active judicial
Otherwise
review.
known as a limp crown, I like to call them.
Hard ratings should be used sparingly and with conviction. Overuse weakens the legal system, which is true. Declaring a hard flame without genuine emotional devastation may constitute perjury.
Yeah. Yeah, like, can you have a weak flame? I just don't really get the concept of that.
Weak flame would be silly. But just saying,
strong crown and like
you could do soft crowns though.
Like this one for me, I put this in the crown tier, but it only just scrapes in.
So it's a soft crown.
Yeah, but
I would say flaccid crown.
Yeah, flaccid crown.
Limp crown.
Yeah. Floppy crown.
Alrighty, so track 4. It's all right. What'd you give this one?
I said good.
Did you? I said crown for this one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I love this one.
Right.
I probably would say it's on the softer side of the crowns.
Yeah.
But I love this one. Yeah.
As in always did, or
no? I found it just this. I said I never listened to this one, and I love it.
Okay, what puts this in crown tier for you?
I love the way the melodies move in the how he just holds the note. He does like into the unknown, but he does that earlier too, and just the way that moves over the chords that caught me, and I like that.
Right,
and then the chorus is just really not offensive. It's just catchy. It's all right. It's all right. Just a flowy, cool, catchy banger.
But that's not crown. Like, no, it's not offensive. Like,
no, no. As in, like, it wasn't like the chorus was that I liked. Sometimes I say I love the verses, but the chorus didn't do it for me.
Okay.
Yeah, not as in like not that way. It's I think it's a really strong chorus. I really like it.
Oh, okay.
But again, it's got that MXPX kind of not nothing energy, but it doesn't. It sounds like it should be way louder than it is. It's like Jimmy World did that too, where that's Chaos City finds them boring. And I could understand that criticism. Don't agree with it. but I understand where he's coming from because it doesn't get the energy over that final threshold where it really grabs you. But it's designed that way and it's meant to be that way. This kind of feels like that. It just flows. It just kind of sits there. It's just a summary going for a cruise song.
When you said the chorus is non-offensive or whatever you said, that kind of resonated with me because I was just like, it's certainly not a bad song, but it just lacks something interesting. Like it's a little bit too repetitive, and I'm not sure whether it's just like lacking something in terms of the creativity. It's just like
I understand that.
It's a little bit boring.
Okay, I could understand you saying that.
Yeah.
I just like it. I think it's a good one. I think it's definitely a soft crown for me for sure. But I just really like it. I didn't. It's like when I gave it a good example. I bring this up often. It's like Decision by Goldfinger on Open Your Eyes.
Yeah.
Like I don't expect everyone to give that a crown, but that's just, to me, I was like, that's a crown.
Yep.
And this too, I just really liked it. It says it features guest vocals from Benji Madden and Good Charlotte, and of Good Charlotte. I'm like, well, that makes sense because the song sounds like Good Charlotte.
Yeah. There's a number of songs that do. Hey.
Yeah, and also
I was actually reading they toured with Good Charlotte. I think before they went into the studio for this.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So like, hey, do you want to come and be on half of our album?
Yes.
After the chorus, the way the chords move, it sounds like "There She Goes" by Sixpence None the Richer. Is that how it goes? It's like the exact same chord change.
Right.
Like a split second.
After the chorus, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But no, I like this one. I didn't expect to like it so much, but
sure.
I don't think we've talked about this. You don't need high energy to be a crown, and I think this song does what it needs to do without it.
Yeah.
But then again, an example in my mind that I think of about being a crown without high energy is like Blue and Yellow by The Used. And that is so many levels above this song. But I just think this is just a solid, I want this on my no skip playlist.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't feel right giving it a great because it's better than a great in my opinion.
Well, I say it's not. I say it's less than a great.
And it's okay to disagree.
I found the lyrics on this song just a bit too cheesy.
Okay.
And you know what I've found listening to this album is if you're going to do like the cheese factor with lyrics, there's less room for error in terms of like the musicality. You know what I mean? Like I think you can get away with cheesy lyrics if the music, like the song is really interesting and fun. Whereas
you're
if
saying
it's
just
not,
missing
there's
a bit
nowhere
of...
for the lyrics to hide. And that's where I struggle with this song.
I think you're right. But see, I'm looking at it as I don't typically turn to pop punk music for depth anyway. So I'm not like, it's not missing something that I would get. I'm more surprised when pop punk albums have depth.
Fair enough.
Than the other way. I just think that this is just solid. I think that's the best way to put it. It's like you just have it on and it's just there and it's good. You're not offended. You're enjoying it. You're having a great time. You're not, because sometimes crown songs, I mean, if that's what we talk about, reluctant, like fatigued crowns, etc.
Yeah.
Not reluctant because that sounds like you don't want to give it a crown. But you can sometimes skip it because you're like, I don't want to listen to that song because at the end it demands too much of your attention. It's like crowning in its own way.
Yeah.
So I can see where you're coming from.
I'm not saying I need like depth to lyrics necessarily. Like Blink, a lot of Blink lyrics don't have a lot of depth to them. I just mean like these lyrics are cheesy, like they're corny.
Oh yeah. You're saying Blink doesn't have depth to them?
Well, not like, I mean, they obviously
not
have to do
to
it
the
in
depth
some
other
songs,
bands
but
do,
like if you think about it, if you're
this.
putting on like Enema,
yeah,
Dump Where he doesn't. So there's a whole lot of depth to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. All right, baby. Brokenhearted.
I give this a flame.
Oh.
What'd you give it?
I gave it a crown.
Oh, when was the last time we shared a flame?
I know. Shared a flame.
It's been ages.
I thought about a flame and I was like, Jay's going to flame this.
Yeah,
and I want to be in on it. Then I didn't.
It's I loved this song so much when I was younger.
Oh.
This is my favorite song. One of my favorite songs ever, like when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I forgot all about it. And I said recently that I haven't listened to the whole album through. I haven't. And I said I hadn't listened to it since high school. Then I corrected myself and I'll clarify that here. I have listened to this because I remembered it randomly. And I was like, what was that MXPX song I loved in high school? And I remember I just was like, this is still sick. And when it came on this listen through, I was like, I just love this song.
On last week's episode, when we said we were going to do this album, you just went,
I'm broken hearted. It was straight on my mind.
And I'd forgotten that it was on the album. I was like, oh, that song's on there, yes.
I love that album. I'm super sorry, that song so much. And that album, this album, sorry, because of that. But even with the palm muted guitars at the start, gotcha.
Look, I don't know why I didn't go flame. It's very, very high crown tier. Yep. I guess maybe I don't necessarily feel a huge amount of emotional connection to it. But you know the song and I thought that to myself during the week.
It's all nostalgia for me.
Yeah. Because then I was like...
maybe not all, but
it made me think of She's Nubs by NoFX.
Yeah.
Which is the hardest of flames.
Yeah, that's the hardest of
flames. But I
flames.
don't feel an emotional connection to it. It's just such an important song to me for, I don't know, other reasons.
I do. Not for the lyrics, but I think the music pumps me up. Like, and I think that's the same with you. The emotional connection is probably just purely sonic of the music.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is borderline for that.
Yes,
in this song.
I have that in this as well. And I think this is where maybe that's the thing with the lyrics. If you don't have a lot of substance and you try to have substance, you can notice how shallow the water is. But with this, they are self-aware with how thin this song is. It's about crying because a girl break your heart. But not in a sad way.
No.
And like in a pathetic, like, feel sorry for me way either. It's fun and it's upbeat and it's funny. Like the part where he says...
Deliberately funny.
Yeah. So Luke Dixon and I used to spin, like this song and the next one were just back-to-backs on all the time. This is my song. So he loved the next one, which we'll talk about when we get there.
Yeah.
But we loved it. And the specific line that Luke Dixon used to love that we'd crack up at is you chose the words you knew would make me cry. You probably done to 100 guys. I'm not crying. I got something in my eyes. Luke used to say, I'm not crying. It's because something in my eyes. Like he'd say that because of this song. And I love the line that comes after, which I only really found out on this listen, where it says, you never really felt a thing. You said that you didn't like the way I sing. I'm not crying, but my eyes, they really sting. Like that's a really funny...
To come back to it.
Yeah. And then just at the end being like, you slapped my face before you said goodbye, called me a loser, hoping I would die. It's like so unnecessary. But it's just so on from the beginning. As soon as the song starts, you just open the pit. So good.
This is pretty much a perfect pop punk song.
Yeah.
You could put this up there with any other pop punk song and it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if anything, I'd say it's underrated because if more people knew about this, it would probably be in Mount Rushmore contention. You know what I mean? At least it probably wouldn't make it, but it would be in contention.
Yeah.
But
it might be too poppy for some people.
Okay.
Would be the only thing that might disqualify it from that.
Yeah. How does they break it again? When it goes to the double time.
Yeah.
I said hearing it in its context, it's like a different sounding song. The chords are really sick with the melody in the verses, like the way that it moves around with weird chords. They don't typically use that in like any songs leading up to this. It's not like they have the strange chords. This is like the first song that really hits into the strange chords. And when you hear it in context, it's like, wow, this is a really different sounding song on the album compared to what's been on so far. The most different up to this point will probably be Play It Loud, which is like a punk rock kind of anthem.
Yeah.
And this is like, I don't even know, like hard pop punk, like, sort of thing. But no, I love this song.
Speaking of the musicality, I think his bass work in the bridge is awesome.
Yeah.
He's like a really talented bass player.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of like walking bass line type stuff.
That's what is in Chick Magnet, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Because a lot of bass players would play Chick Magnet bass line and Longview. That's where I'd hear those all the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's the
bassist
frontman.
vocalist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now he's playing in Goldfinger.
That's right.
We listened to that album before we started the book club and I was like, in the bridge, that guy sounds like MXPX.
Yeah.
And you're like, it is MXPX. Oh, wow. I had no idea. But no, this for sure, like if I had to rank out of the flames I've given, like my favorite flames, this would be up there at the top.
Right.
Like, this is not in the bottom half, that's for sure.
We should do that as a little special segment at some point. Rank
Rating the flames. Should do it at the end of every season.
Yes.
Flame list, flame tier. Alrighty, so first day of the rest of our lives. What'd you give this one?
I said great for this one.
Really? I said crown for this one.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, I love this one. I think it's really weird because part of me goes, I say that they do what they do, like Jimmy Eat World, because it's their sound. And it is, like, that's their sound. But then they have songs like this and Play It Loud where I'm like, they can do more energy if they wanted to, because this song's got a lot of energy in it.
Yeah, but again, it's flowy energy though, again, like what you were saying before.
I think, to me, this sounds like they're going away to college. Like how Blink going away to college has like quite a bit of energy, but it doesn't have the same energy as like What's Made Again or anything like that. And it's also quite lyrically about a similar thing.
Yeah, sure. It's just interesting you talk about their sound because like I was listening to Life in General a bit this week as well.
Yeah.
And it's more punky.
Yeah.
But it's still, and flowy was the word you used. And it is kind of flowy. Like it's not as big and energetic as other punk albums. Like it's got all the D beats and everything like that, but it's just kind of like we're cruising.
Yeah.
Like you were saying before, just going for a drive.
Yeah.
We're cruising. Like that's
so
their kind of sound.
Futures is nighttime album. This is daytime. Drive album. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I had Broken Hearted. That was my song that I love the most. Luke liked it too, but then he had this one.
Okay.
And I was also a little bit disappointed when it came on because it meant that
your song's over?
Yeah, my song's over. So like that nearly affected my rating. I nearly gave it a great because I was a bit like, oh yeah, because nostalgically I had like I do like this song, not like a sort of vibe. I was like, maybe we need a new term for that. Well,
we don't need any more terms.
Because your friend used to put it on all the time straight after the song that you liked. You now nearly rated it lower because that's definitely going to come up on other albums for sure. But speaking of bass work, more so bass tone, banging bass tone in the second verse where it cuts back to just the bass. It's like It's in the second verse. She was just singing the verse. It sounds Mark Hoppus-y, but then again, anything that sounds clangy through like an Ampeg fridge sounds like Mark Hoppus.
Yeah, sure.
But I think he might use it. Does he use a Stingray or something? It has like a really, that type of pickup sound.
Yep.
Amazing. Great bass tone. But I don't love the key change.
Yes.
It just feels unnecessary.
My note is key change? Nah.
Yeah, I don't think it works for this song.
And one of the reasons why is because, so I said it's a great song. I think the pre-chorus to this song is like crown tier. It's like, and that's another one where they cut back to like the palm muted guitar, where they kind of like, they tighten it up and it gets like a drivey beat. They do that on a few different songs.
Which opens the chorus up when it comes in. Yeah. I like that.
This is probably the best example of that. They nail it. It's so good.
Yeah.
But I think the chorus is just, like, it's catchy, but it's a little too like simple and it's super repetitive.
Yes. Okay.
And I think that becomes a problem when they do the key change, because it just feels like the key change is just like, we just need to change this up a little bit. It's exactly the same. It's just we're changing key.
Good point. I was going to say maybe that's why they thought of it. Yeah, that's a good point. It sounds like from what you're saying that what MXPX deliver, you agree with me that they do it well, but it just might not be what you're looking for, because it's like, it'd be like Cal going to Jimmy Eat World and be like, oh, it's just not for me. Like, but it's like halfway for you because you're liking it. But we seem to be that like it seems to be what you would rate a good, I'm rating great, and whatever you'd rate a great, I'd rate a crown. Like, that's what it seems to be. I'm like a rating ahead of you.
Yeah, I mean, we both crowned. Yeah, to some extent. There are some songs that I really, really love. And this album, it's something about this album in particular. And like the poppiness of this album, where it's like super like, every chorus is like reduced to like one line and one like vocal hook. If that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. It's funny because
and then it's just like repeating it.
Yeah. That's a good point.
And I just found on this one, it dragged a little bit.
Yeah. It's like, but to me, it's like a control drag. But I agree the drag's there. Yeah, for sure.
Everything sucks. Brackets when you're gone.
I gave this one a good.
Okay, and I said a fine. So
really?
Agreeing
wow, I was going to jokingly say, can I guess? Would you give it a fine? That's funny.
Yeah.
So literally where I went under.
Interesting.
This was the single. It has a film clip.
One of my notes is, how is this the single? Like, seriously? Like, there's like literally 3 or 4 other songs on this album that would be better single. Broken Hearted.
I would concede that.
Well Adjusted.
Play It Loud for sure.
Play It Loud.
Yep.
Better singles.
Yeah.
Why was this the single?
Good point.
Their chart position like peaked at 51 or something. This goes to like top 10 if they've got a decent single. This song is not that good.
I will even concede that Broken Hearted isn't like, there are better singles on the album than that. Like, for example, Play It Loud should be a single for sure. That's such a like punk rock anthem.
Yeah.
Like, that would be cool.
I think Well Adjusted is very singly.
Okay. I give that a great, so I wouldn't, I don't know if I'd jump to that as a single, but I wouldn't be offended. I'd be less offended than this. This came up in my recommended on YouTube today, and I was like, oh, I want to see it and check it out. Reading the comments, so many people were like, this is a no skip album for me. I love this album so much. Like, this is my favorite MXPX album, and this is such a great song. It's like, this song? All I wanted was to eat popcorn with you. I tell you, I do know this song.
Yeah.
But I'd only ever listened to pretty much that line. Because from Broken Hearted into First Day of the Rest of Our Lives into I Want to Eat Popcorn with You, that line ruined it for me, and I'd turn it off and I'd just go back to Broken Hearted and just let it play through to that. I told you, I would listen to a song and it would naturally start bleeding into the next, and if it caught me, I'd let it go, and that's my new favorite song. And then, but if that was a brick wall for me, just popcorn with you. I said it's a low good for me. I actually have that written down. It's a low good, but it just drags a bit. It just, to me, this isn't one that does well for me. But I do love, I did have a positive note, so I wasn't just being negative. I do love the drum tone in this album. I think it's a really on the album on whole.
Yeah. And his drumming is like his drum style is really cool.
Yeah, very cool. It's just not for.
You know what's interesting? I actually don't mind the intro.
Oh, really?
For me, it's not as off-putting. Like, I'm not saying I love it, but I find it interesting. I quite like the way the chords move.
Yeah.
Where it kind of has this like ascending thing that it keeps doing.
Yeah. Don't get the impression that I don't like it or I think it's offensive. To me, it's just a little bit lame. Like, it's just not my thing. It's also just funny. Like, the way he hits popcorn is a bit funny. He also writes a lot about like, come on over my house. Like, have you noticed that? Like, thematically, he talks about a bit like, come on over. Like, I baked dinner here for 2. I got candles lit, or we can lay on the lounge and watch TV, or like, I just want you to come over.
It's a very like homey type album, isn't it?
It's just really strange.
One of the themes I wanted to talk about this is that it seems like it's a bit about like a long distance relationship.
Okay.
There's lots of songs that you're leaving.
Songs in general.
No, the album.
Yeah.
At one point I was like, is this like a concept album? Because there's a lot of songs where there's this like recurring theme of like someone's leaving, or I've got to wait until I can see you.
It sounds like touring though. Maybe that's why it's long term.
Yeah. And like songs where he just wants to be at home and do home things like eating popcorn, watching the movies, like stay up watching the Late Show.
It is funny that people look so much like when you're younger, you give your left nut to be able to tour all the time, like bands did. Some of us did.
Some bands gave their left nut.
Yeah, and they didn't even go on tour. They just get it for no reason. It's just a deposit and then they go back.
One nutter.
For the rest of their life. But then people go on tour and so many songs are written, especially in pop punk in like early 2000s, is like, Coming Home by Goldfinger is how they start their album. Like people just talking about this coming home to their partners, because like, imagine living in a van with sweaty dudes for
in a different city every day,
getting paid like $40 a day or something like that. Just does not sound fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm interesting that we both agree that this isn't that good. As I said, I don't know if I've ever written down the note low good. Like it's a low good. It's so close to a fine. I just think that I might have futures taxed it, which already been talked about.
No, I don't think you did.
But I thought that I might have been futures taxing it by making it a fine.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I think it's a low good. Yeah.
It's interesting because there's a section after the bridge where they go back to the verse, and there's like this little lead guitar bit that is underneath the melody. And it's super interesting. And I kind of feel like if there were more little like flourishes like that on the song, it would just make it more, I don't know, more entertaining.
I know that 2 of them are like 20-second things, but like then that leaves only 14 songs. So I was going to say, if they took a couple of songs off, they could have put more work into other songs.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Sure. They released this as a single, and I think that's wild. So like for them to be like, that's the track.
Yes.
Why? Is it because of the popcorn part and that they thought that was catchy or something? But there's nothing else in it, I don't think. You might be offending MXPX fans.
No, we're about to offend MXPX fans. What's that? I said, no, we're about to offend MXPX.
Alrighty, so Quit Your Life. What'd you give this one?
I said a bad.
Did you?
Yeah.
I gave this a great.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
How'd you give it a bad?
So I think I quite liked this song back in when we used to listen to it. But then listening to it this time, it just...
I think I know. I think I can psychoanalyze you. I think the drags annoyed you, and because this song's a little bit softer and draggy, this might feel boring.
No. It's just... So when I was reading something about this album this week, reading about the album this week, I read something where someone said, power ballads have no place on punk albums. And that sentiment really just like rings true on this album.
There's so many of them on so many albums.
This is just like... I just found this a real energy drain on the album. And I
didn't feel that.
I found it a little bit too sappy.
Okay.
I didn't like it.
Right. Well, disagree hard.
Okay.
I've given it a great. My first note is it's in the same key as the AirPods noise cancelling tone, because I changed my cancelling and it was the right key. I was like, wow, that's interesting. Good to know.
That is good.
I just think, I think it's a really my note here is this is a really well produced ballad track for a pop punk band. It feels emo-esque, even if it was a few years, like was heard a few years later. It just reminds me of those types of ballads that came later.
Yeah.
So I wasn't offended by it at all. I think it's just a great produced track. I mean, I really I can hear the effort behind it, and I think it came out good. So great. I think it's a great track. Again, this is where I have the note saying he loves hanging out at home, because he says, so quit your life and stay with me. We'll order in and watch TV. That's a big ask. He says, we'll paint the house and watch the car, and we'll take a walk, but not too far.
Come on.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I didn't know.
Come on, bruh.
That's a live demote. But no.
A live demote?
Yeah, no. But
there should be like a buzzer that goes like, ding, 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 ding. We've got a change of rating here. A live chain. Change.
That doesn't undo it for me, because part of me is like, that's a great song. I think, I feel like this album's...
This is the perfect illustration, sorry to cut you off, of what I was saying before about how if you're going to like use really cringy, corny lyrics and you don't like dress them up nicely in like an interesting song, they're really exposed, and there's really little room for error. And
so you're saying stay in your lane, do what you do good at.
I have a note later on about them staying in their lane.
Right, okay, fair enough.
For another song. I just,
fair enough.
I didn't like it.
It sounds like this album's offended you a little bit.
Yeah, in parts.
Yeah, it's weird though, because 2 albums that we loved heaps when we were younger has been surprised of that hasn't hit the same for you, like Open Your Eyes and this one.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
In saying that, I barely listened to this album back in the day. I'm only hearing it for the first time
Yeah,
now.
true.
But
I thought we bonded over this and you only listened to like 2 songs.
We did. We bonded hard over those songs.
More everything. What do you got?
I gave this a great as well.
I gave it a great.
Oh, we're up.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one's really cool.
Yeah. I said, how do they get that guitar tone in the intro? It's like a 1-inch amp. It's so small.
My note is awful guitar tone in the intro.
I think they know that. Like, I think it's meant to be that.
Yeah.
But this song's got a rock and energy.
Yes.
I think it to me personally, I feel like it's such a paint by numbers pop punk song. Like if you asked AI to write a pop punk song, it would just give you this.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that as like an offensive thing to MXPX saying like, that it could just be soulless AI generated stuff. I'm saying as in it's hitting every box that you want to tick in a pop punk song. To me, it's just a great.
Yeah.
Yeah. But because of that, it's just a great. Because there's nothing, no flavor, no seasoning on it that'll take it to a crown.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the chorus is really cool. It's like a banging chorus. I really like the chorus. And a really cool guitar lick after they get past that guitar tone at the start and the full band comes in. I really like that as well. And the pre-chorus is great. This is another one where they cut back to palm muted guitars.
Yeah.
Before bursting into the chorus. It's a great song.
You have made me realize there are times in the show where like I'll talk about a rating or something and you'll go, oh, I never really looked at lyrics too much. And I'll just be really deep in lyrics because I'd notice something and then every song I look at the lyrics and you go, oh, do you grab me for that? And that's not to say that like you Millencolin the album, or that's the term, that you've Millencolin the album or anything like that. It's because you, it just didn't grab you in that way.
No.
It's
I
like
listened
the opposite.
to it tons.
No, yeah, for the albums.
Yeah.
For sure. But it's almost like the opposite for this here because you have pointed out to me, I hadn't really paid much attention to the lyrics, but you've made me shine the light on the fact about how lackluster they kind of are.
Yeah.
And I'm noticing that now and it's icking me a bit.
Yeah.
Talk about Millencolin.
Yes.
Definition: the act of unfairly underrating an album because it was not given the proper attention during listening. This occurs when an album is consumed passively, distractedly, or in a fragmented form, resulting in a false judgment that the record is average when, under lawful listening conditions, it would have been recognized as significantly better.
Yeah.
Definition for Greg: listen properly, album playing but brain somewhere else. Then you say album bad because you were busy being stupid. Listen again. Example usage: Jayson gave the album a 3.23 after listening to it only once, hearing half of it while mowing the lawn and the other half while answering emails.
Mowing the lawn.
Really a true story. Because of the lowered score, a sleepless, confused, and betrayed Sam put the album on in the car one morning instead of listening to his usual records.
No!
Trying to understand exactly, you can see the oncoming train crash, or car crash, maybe. Trying to understand how Jayson could have rated it so low and become so lost in thought that he missed his usual coffee stop by exactly 7 minutes. This meant he failed to hold the door open, for a man who was supposed to meet the scientist who would prevent the development of a classified particle collider in Oslo. The missed meeting subsequently violated the natural order, fractured the space-time continuum, and opened an interdimensional rift above Sweden. Consequently, hostile interdimensional entities emerged with no known purpose beyond planetary destruction. Jayson really should not have Millencolin to that album.
Wait, that happened.
Yep.
How did we correct the time-space continuum?
We just don't do it. I just don't Millencolin it. Whatever the album is that I'm meant to have done.
Yes, we get this dossier ahead of time.
Yes,
it warns us. And
prevents
of course,
us.
I get it. Yep, sure.
I don't know what's changed because I can't mow the lawn. I have the worst allergies in the world, so we have someone who mows the lawn because I just can't breathe after
Can I come and mow your lawn?
What do you mean by that?
I love mowing the lawn. I find it therapeutic.
No, it's Millencolin is a procedural failure, not a taste issue. An album cannot be fairly judged if the listener was spiritually absent during proceedings. Repeat violations may result in supervised re-listens. Alrighty, so Kings of Hollywood. What'd you give this one?
I said a fine.
I said good for this one.
Yeah.
We're just back to being one apart. It just made me think to myself, do you think people like emo albums were to feel and this album is to not think? Like it's just so like the songs are just like, the top, what is it? Something about remember the times back in Hollywood, making friends, like best friends playing music or whatever. The sun was going up when we were laying down. We felt like kings and we loved that town. It's just, we got into the car heading out to Vegas, didn't get very far. The top was always down and blew a flat tire. It's just legit, like, don't want to have to think, just having fun with my friends.
Yeah.
And I think that now we're looking at it from the perspective of what came a couple of years later. It's like they tried, they just missed like the trend of like where music was going, which was getting more emotionally deeper. But this is coming out of like early 2000s where people just wanted to have fun at skate parks and not thinking.
I wonder if they deliberately went against the grain.
Maybe. Or they just were like, assumed that because they went with the producer, they were going to think that that's where pop stuff was where it was at. And
yeah, sure.
maybe, honestly, who knows? I'm thinking about that now. Maybe the emo movement was a response to the overproduction of pop punk. That's an interesting theory. Like maybe it's the fact that a lot of people started rebelling against, because they're like, that's really cool, but also it doesn't satisfy my deeper emotional needs. And bands that did, like underground bands, like Taking Back Sunday and Brand New, were like catapulted into success because they were supported by the audience themselves. So many emo bands did. Yeah, that's why we read in Sellout how they jumped on emo bands next.
Yeah,
but it's because a lot of people, maybe as consumers, felt like that their deeper emotional needs weren't met.
Yeah.
But it says here, this track features guest vocals from Jordan Pundick of Newfound Glory. I was like, they're collecting pop punk vocalists like Infinity Stones. It's just like Thanos just filling the glove. That intro, but with the bass, it just reminded me of Tequila. Right. But it's a different thing.
I just think this one, it's another one where, as you've said, the lyrics are super corny. And in this, it's like, it's worse on this song because like this song is about like getting loose in Hollywood, but it's like the High School Musical version of that.
I understand what you mean, yeah. But back then it wouldn't have felt like that because just this genre in and of itself was rebellious, compared to what was on the radio. We've just heard so much of it now that I would say that this is probably for you an album that didn't age well rather than an album that just isn't good, because you probably would have liked it a lot more back in the context.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't think any of these things
But even if you went back at this age, like not even just like being a kid, I think it's just that even if you were older back then, you probably still would have really liked it because compared to what else is out, this would have been,
it didn't seem so on the nose. I don't know.
But now, it's just from what has come after and where music's gone, I think.
You know what I thought as well when I made that note about sounding like a High School Musical? Remember when we did Fame?
Yeah.
I wonder if we were listening to this around that time, because something about it made me kind of go,
what did you do?
Draw a connection. I was the teacher. I came in late. Like someone dropped out.
Yeah.
Might have been Andrew Richmond.
Maybe.
And I took his place as like I think I did a German accent.
All right.
Yeah.
That's fine. They're white.
Yeah.
We can do it.
You were in the band.
I was in the stage band.
Yeah.
Oh, funniest thing during Fame was when we're in like the pit band on stage, like during a performance in front of a crowd. And there was a drummer there that used to play called, I think his name was Brent or something. He was a nice kid, but he was quite socially awkward. And some of us were like I was friendly with him, of course, but like you'd banter, but for some reason you'd be like, are they bantering or are they just bullying? Like you don't know where the line is. He used to banter back, and that's what made it was a free for all. You know what I mean? Like he was a bit socially awkward, but he gave everybody a lot of crap. So everyone would give him crap back. And one night during the performance, while we're on stage, like in the pit band, we're all dressed in like all the button-up shirts and stuff, like properly with the sheet music in front of us. And Billy Otto just like leans forward and just undoes the cymbal clamp on his thing, and he goes like in the middle of the performance. Drops down on his gear, and Brent's like shoots up, trying to grab it and put his thing back up, and Billy just sits back in the middle of the performance.
So mid-song?
Not song, while they're acting on stage, like mid thing. It wasn't even during a song. Billy just had an impulsive thought and was like, this would be funny, in front of like a crowd full of people. And because he knew that everyone would look straight to Brent, who was just shooting himself, trying to fix it all back up, kind of, guys, it wasn't me. And just Reeves is shitting daggers at him, being like, what are you doing? Like, what? The cymbal just crashing down because Billy just undid it.
And Billy's just frozen in the back, just pretending like that.
Sitting there watching. I'm like, why would you do that?
That was like Billy was the funniest kid.
Yeah. In the
yes.
I harmonized it with a fourth over the top of it, doing that. And the music teacher who was standing in that day, I was like, I was just doing a harmony over it. And she's like, don't do that. It sounds Chinese. I was like, how? That's so funny.
One of my notes for this is I feel like No Effect would have bullied these guys hard.
Really? But the MXPX, they're legendary.
I don't know.
Was Life in General like this?
No.
Right. So maybe it was just their attempt at trying to, maybe they got told by a label to thin out the lyrics.
I'm going to say something about that at the end, but yeah, it's not the same. It's different.
Maybe, as I said, like I was saying, I think maybe a label, who knows, maybe they're like, we want to be as accessible as possible.
Yeah.
So let's just sing about girls and partying and driving around with your friends.
Yeah.
Do you know what I've realized? I'm listening on YouTube Music. There's comments. So we could go through some of the songs every now and then. Maybe if there's a song that we're like, how could anyone like this? We could just see if there's people saying.
Or those ones where like we're super divided. What do people say about
the Capitol? I can tell you this just quickly. Underrated song. Top comment. Someone said, my God, I hope some other video has all the views because this song is an absolute beauty. You should have 100 times the views. Someone said, still like it. once upon a time in 2004, our band went on tour in a converted box truck that reeked of gas fumes. Albuquerque, sorry, reminds me of that Weird Al song. Albuquerque. Do you know that one from Running in Scissors? New Mexico, but then broke down just outside of Denver, Colorado on the I-70. Somehow we still made it to the show. I don't even remember. Haha. #memories. #worth it.
What did that
has
to do with
nothing to do with the song. It's just they wanted to tell you a story.
I want to know what the comments are for Quit Your Life because you gave it what did you say, Crown?
I said a great. Top comment.
I said bad.
All right. So these are the comments left on that. Coconut. Next comment.
Cool.
Who's listening in 2023?
Okay.
Next comment. More everything. MXPX before everything and after. Copyright 2015. Interscope Geffen Records. Why would you just a division of UMG Records Inc.? So
who are these people?
And also, I think you might just be onto something that there wasn't much to say about. That's like,
who takes the time to leave these sorts of comments? Like, what have you?
Anyway, what did you?
Let's get back to the
give
capital. I said a good for this one.
I said great.
You said great?
I'm just ahead of you by one.
Yep.
That's pretty much the story.
That really
of this
is
episode.
the theme of this song.
Said
this
so early 2000s pop punk. Said D Beats. Here we go.
Back to D Beats, baby.
This feels like what you come to pop punk for. It reminds me of Pulley song. Sounds like Pulley vocally.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love where the chords move in the verse.
Yeah.
Really cool.
This is. I think this is. If I thought about it more, or maybe if I was more offended by the other songs, I'd be like, this is what I'd want more of on the album. But like the other songs don't really offend me. So that I when I hear this, it's just like a little bonus. But
yeah. I think this song to me was just kind of missing something because it's like, I think the verses are kind of too similar to the chorus. The chorus for me on this one doesn't really stand out. And then the bridge kind of doesn't really like resolve. The song doesn't resolve into anything. It goes into the bridge where it goes into that like halftime section, which I think is cool. I quite like that.
It's probably a good, but I'm getting biased by the D Beats, so I take it up a ranking for that.
Yeah. I mean, I love the D Beats, but I kind of wanted it to maybe go back to a D Beat section. It kind of went to the halftime and then it just kind of like, it felt like it just kind of like faded out, if that kind of makes sense.
I also found it kind of strange that the drums are so charging, like, but the guitars are like almost clean, the riffs. Like they're so...
Yeah.
So it's like are they allergic to energy in some of these songs? Like, what?
Maybe.
It's right there. Just to make it louder.
Yeah.
Like the literal first song is play it loud, and then they proceed to play it mild for the rest of the album.
They turn it down to 3.
So it's like a relaxed, chill D Beat song. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
It's so interesting you say that though. You've got to listen to Life in general because it's packed with D Beats. It's like a mid-90s.
Well, I've heard it before, but I can't remember it.
But it's not as energetic as like a No Effects album. It's got a cruisiness to it. And like what you just said, what did you just say then? Like
a chill D Beat song.
A chill D Beat song. That's kind of
they wrote this
that
soft
is kind
song.
of their vibe.
Like that video I sent you of that guy where they're playing the soft emotional song and he puts the D Beats under it. That's what the drummer's done here. It's like a soft song. He's like, stuff it. I'm sick of this. I have to cut the whole way through it.
One thing I liked about this though is this song for me was like showing how they can carry like emotional weight in a song really effectively.
Yep.
But I thought that maybe there are other songs where they don't do that as effectively. And that's maybe because at other times it comes across as a bit corny.
Yeah, maybe that's also the reason that I haven't ever really gravitated back to MXPX that hard.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't scratch the itch that it is.
I will say, and this I think cost it points.
Okay.
This song is when the album kind of pivots to more of like a spiritual, religious focus.
Does it?
Yeah. Well, like the chorus of this is like, those that seek will surely find that those that don't are surely blind or something. Like it starts getting preachy.
I didn't even know that they were Christian or any form of religion. Oh, maybe
they're a Christian punk band. What are you talking about? That's like, if you Wikipedia them, that'll be like the first thing.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Actually, but I kind of do because at youth, that's the whole reason I knew them was because people would play MXPX. So maybe that's the case.
Yeah. But this is the first song I think to have any kind of like express reference to anything religious or spiritual. And then there's multiple songs where they start doing it and it comes across as preachy and it doesn't resonate with me anymore. And so I think I probably would have rated this song a bit higher if I gave it a good. It might have got given a great if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, right. Cool.
I'm surprised it didn't pick that up in the lyrics though.
And I was looking at him. Alrighty, so on the outs.
Will we continue to be one off? I said fine for this.
I said great.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So we're not.
Why is it great for you?
Based on the standards of what I rate other songs that are great for, this just hits the great category for me.
Okay.
Just that's how I've felt with all the songs. I'm rating them. Futures Tax is a real thing, as we know, it's very serious. But I'm just making sure that I'm rating it fairly based off what I give other songs on other albums. And the songs that I've given grades for all are just greats.
Yeah.
They just they do it well, whatever they're doing, you know?
Yeah.
In my opinion. I said I do love the chorus to this one. I think it's got a good chorus in this one. I just said it's just really a non-offensive album so far, which admittedly I know sounds like, well, then it doesn't have any spice to it.
That's why I found it interesting you've given it a great when you're like, it's not offensive. That to me is like, that's a typical like fine, maybe a good if there's parts of it that stand out as interesting.
Yeah. I think you're hearing me say that it doesn't do anything bad, so I guess I got to rate it a great. It's not that. I'm just saying as in, just, there's nothing in the songs that's taken it to crown tier. I mean, not some other songs, but like in the ones I'm giving great to, nothing that's taken me to crown tier, but there's nothing in it nothing in the songs really, aside from that riff that I hated.
Yeah.
Like in other albums, I'm like, I like the song's good, but I hate this part, or like doing this. They're just, it's like, it's great. Like there's nothing really there there's nothing there that I don't like.
Yep.
But overall, on like a macro level, you're right. It's lacking compared to other songs, which is why I'm not rating him up around here.
Yeah.
Because I think like he's got a good voice, writes good melodies.
Yes.
Good sections like that. I said, his voice already sounds like, it says here that I should say that Benji Madden also provides guest vocals on this track. I said, Joel from Good Charlotte, he never really did features that much, but Benji Madden did like a bunch. Like he was, not a bunch, but he was on the Goldfinger album. Like he's done, I associate him with features.
Benji wasn't.
No, he was the brother. I mean, he was the brother. They're both brothers. He was the guitarist, backing vocalist, with a grittier voice.
Yes.
And I said here that his voice already sounds a little bit like Benji, so it blends well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This song sounds super Good Charlotte to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I was never a massive Good Charlotte fan, to be honest.
Did you like their first album?
A little bit.
I think it was
I
self-titled.
loved the song Little Things because it was in Dude, Where's My Car? And I loved that movie.
Yeah. I loved that album.
Did you?
Yeah. We have to do that on the potty.
Yeah. I loved Little Things, and I really loved Motivation Proclamation. I still think that's a great song today. Yeah. It says here at the very last line of the song, is it really over? I was like, it could be, but nope, there's still 4 songs to go. Got me working overtime with my ratings and sorted it all out.
I don't love Benji in this song, to be honest.
You know what? Don't even know where he is because Jules blends into me.
Did it? Yeah, cool. Yeah. I also thought for me the chorus was a little bit boring in this song.
Okay, I'll do you. Yeah, I agree. No, wait, I don't agree. I said love the chorus to this one. No, I said I did. I love this chorus.
Is that going to be our favourite blooper of the season?
Was that this season or last season?
I don't even know.
We're going to have to watch through all the episodes to find our funny moments.
Yeah. I like the intro and verses to this song.
The chorus doesn't do it for you.
The chorus for me just doesn't. Again, it's not. I would say it's not offensive.
Yep.
But
you're looking for more, aren't you? You want that spice.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It's like you could probably make a good food example here, but I won't.
All right. Where the streets have no name. What did you give it?
May as well be.
Yeah. Did you have that note too?
I have a similar note.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't Walk Away.
I gave this one a fine.
Me too.
Did you? We're on it.
We're aligned.
My first note is WTF is this sound? Coldplay? It's just a bit nothing to me. Like there's nothing going on. It's like, what is that sound? Where the streets have no name. It's very similar to that.
Yeah.
That's a banging track, that one.
That is a banging track.
Yeah. You two are good. People give them a lot of crap. They're like a meme band.
Yeah.
Ever since they forced their album onto everybody's iPods, people just don't like them. Anyway, so I thought this song might be a good, but it just goes nowhere. Like when I first heard it, I was like, it might be a good, but even though I didn't love the sound, I was like, it might surprise me. And then I was like, that was it. Maybe the piano part's cool. And stretch it out to 3 minutes.
And it kind of like, to me at this point, I was like, does this album lack a bit of cohesion? Because they're bouncing around a lot of different styles.
Well, we're after the 12th track, which is like, they say nothing good happens after midnight. It's like after Nothing Good Happens After Midnight song.
Yep.
13th track onward. It's like, he's just the ones that we couldn't polish.
Like, do we need this song on the album?
No, it doesn't serve any purpose in my mind.
Yeah.
I have one more note here. I said there's lots of themes about asking a girl to take a leap of faith for love. Like throughout pretty much all the songs is like for example, so don't walk away. Don't turn your back. If you leave today, my whole world would turn black. So don't walk away. Don't change your mind. It's time you took the chance and put your hand in mine. It's very like give up everything and be with me. And I don't love that because I feel like I've heard it a million times and it's never said in a way that actually it's just take a chance, which I feel like maybe that might be them trying to be as accessible as possible. That's what I've realized after talking to you about it. But like Yeah, I don't love that because if you gave the same theme to other writers, they make it grittier and more real and more like honest. And then you realize, like, what's the cost of coming to you? Why can't she do? Why is she even considering it? Like, what have you done? What has she done? Like, there's so much more depth to it rather than just like, so let's leave.
Yes.
Let's leave this town together and start a new life.
He's not like interested in exploring any of that.
No, and that's maybe for some people it's just enough for them to be happy with it because the album was. I mean, there's a lot of people that like this album. It was successful.
Yeah.
You know, but to me personally, it's strange because spoiler alert, like you can hear with my ratings, like they're not low. So this didn't come out low, but I don't know. It's strange. We'll get to that.
Yep.
Alrighty. So You Make Me Me. What'd you give this one?
Good.
Okay. I said great for this one, which is the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Just one ahead. Oh, I said, and we're back. I feel like this is it. I feel like this is a good example of like a D-Beat song with energy. Like the other one was a D-Beat song that's chilled. This is like a D-Beat song with energy.
Yep.
This song to me sounds more like First Day of the Rest of Our Lives. Like it has the same similar chord progressions and stuff. Ties in well. But then again, I feel like if you could sit down and immediately cut like 4 songs on this album and it'd be stronger.
For sure.
But
Absolutely.
then again, I'm still rating all the songs great. I'm just saying it's like memorable, stronger.
Yeah. This song musically it's almost in like crown tier for me. I love this song.
Yeah.
But I just can't stomach the nauseating lyrics anymore.
Honestly, I didn't even know what the lyrics were to this song. I was too caught up in I've been just craving energy.
Pull them up. Just pull them up.
I've got them here, right in front of me.
Oh, right.
I always do.
Oh, just read them.
All right. Every night I get down on my knees and pray, say, you're mad already. I thank the Lord above for you each day and was lost and then I found you. You make my ocean. Oh, man. You make my sky blue. You make me smile. You make me sing. You make me scream. You make me everything. You make me me. What blessings has the Lord stored up for me? You are the answer to that mystery. You're not offended by like Reliant K though.
No, I'm going to explain that.
You make me laugh. You make me cry. You make me live. You make me die. What? Make me die? Just you murder me. Height won't separate us from this love. Depth can't separate us from this love. Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying there.
So like, look, the D beats are sick.
Okay. These days, so few seem to have faith in the Son of Man and His grace. When you said it takes a turn, I was like, where? Like, I didn't realize that at all, but you're so right. Yeah. I feel your breath upon my face as you replace my broken ways. Okay.
So if you were...
Oh, he's talking not about a girl. He's talking about God.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. And there might be people that really appeals to and that's something that really hits for them. But I find that even putting that issue to one side, it's like super corny.
Okay.
And so like the D beats are sick and my note is they just need to stay in their lane. Like it's super catchy. It's got great energy. The little pre-chorus section they do where they cut back to like the palm muted guitar again is there and it's awesome. Chorus, it's not quite in crown territory, but it's like...
Chorus to me sounds like that melancholy song. And then I could change the world. Again. Oh, yeah. Fingers crossed from Home off that album. Yeah. It has a similar chord progression and melody movement.
Great. As I said, not quite in crown territory, but a great chorus. But it's just like, man, like the lyrics just bug me. And for me personally, that like holds it back. And so that's why I said it good.
Which is strange because it's like, to take it as like, to be personally offended by them. I understand you saying...
I'm not offended by them, but it's
you
like...
said they bug me. You just said that.
Well, they don't offend me.
but the lyrics, they bug... You said...
They irritate me.
Let's... Greg,
what, is that in your little dictionary over there? Like
minutes of the meeting. You said, this song musically is crown tier for me, but the lyrics, they're so corny, they really bug me. And it's wrong of me to say that you're offended by the lyrics in some kind of way.
I just think that the word bug is different.
Okay, so they rub you the wrong way.
Yeah.
So they bother you.
They bother me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm offended by them.
My point is that I was saying was like, if you, then why not be like, right, well, it's not for me. And it doesn't affect me at all, but you're saying, I'm actually bothered by them. Stay in your lane. Like, that's what you're saying. You just said stay in your lane, which is don't talk about God, but then you said earlier that they're a Christian band. Isn't that their lane?
Yeah, fair point. Singing about God, I get that. That is their lane. But I have to admit, they're a Christian band, but I'm going to talk about this a little bit later on.
Yeah.
But
which disappoints me that we still have 2 songs to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost the following day. Like we're almost talk about the time-space continuum.
Hopefully my daughter hasn't been born yet.
Yeah. But I'll save my thoughts until the end.
Yeah, sure.
There's something I want to come back to about it.
Yeah.
But like, I'm still giving this a good. I'm just saying that this song musically is like much higher where the lyrics place. The lyrics bring it down for me just because I find that they bother me. And when I was 15 and when this album came out, I loved it. It didn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
But it's just like something nowadays as like a 37-year-old man. It's just like, I just can't.
I'm trying to piece together what it is.
It does not resonate with me.
Right. But then that's where you would go, like, it's not for me. But then you're saying that
it's not for me. I'm not trying to ban people from listening to it. It is not.
I'm not saying that. No, I'm saying is in it. Like if you heard a song and you're like, say for example, right, like someone wrote a song about Allah, right? And I'd be like, oh, they've written a pop punk song about Allah. I'd be like, oh, cool. That's not for me. I still think the music's good, but I wouldn't be saying the lyrics bug me and that's what drags my rating down. So it's like
It's not the fact that he's singing about God. It's like the actual lyrics.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, the way he's expressing himself, I find irritating because it's like.
All right, I'm glad that we've sifted through
these little rhyming couplets that he uses are just like, it's childish.
I agree with you. I think that is interesting because then the part of me goes, I mean, you can write a song to God however you want. You can write your own song to however you want.
Yeah.
I agree with you there. What I'm saying is that I agree that I can see where you're coming from. I was trying to find out to see if we agree or not. Like height won't separate us from this love. Depth can't separate us from this love. It's like, it's just, it's so unrefined, the ideas. So it's like, yeah, you make me laugh, you make me cry, you make me live, you make me die.
And you made a really good point. I think it was on the last track where you were like, you know, it's a love song, but it's like, or you're asking her to take a leap of faith, but you're not like, you know, why is it a big deal?
Yeah.
Like, why, what have you done that makes it hard for her? Or what are her, there's no exploration of that at all. And there doesn't need to be. It's pop punk, for God's sake. But like, it's just, this is so surface level. And like
there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Which disappoints you because it's almost like, now I can kind of get to it. I think I understand you. Is that because the music sets such a high bar, the lyrics, whatever they may be about, aren't even close to that bar. And because of that, it's disappointing.
Yeah. It's disappointing.
Disappointing is the word we're looking for.
Look, I've still given the song a good.
Yeah.
And I think musically this song is awesome.
Yeah.
It's disappointing.
Because I agree with you. There's hearing that, I'm like, it feels written like by, it feels like it could be written by a teenager.
Yeah.
It's weird also for it to go through so many processes and labels and stuff, and for the lyrics to be really unrefined in certain parts. Like it could be, even if you don't want to dive into the themes, it doesn't need to be like, I went to a cat, sat by the mat, went to the rat.
Yeah.
Bitch, you know, ran out of words. That thing, it feels a bit like that, which I get, but I'm just liking the vibe of it. So I'm not, it's weird that like sometimes I feel like if a band, they get like, I have different expectations for different bands and I don't expect with MXPX like dive heaps hard into it. So I haven't been like, disappointed by it. But that might be it. It sounds like there's a bit of disappointment in this album for you.
There is a bit.
We might need 20-second therapy to come back.
I might need that actually.
But then that's a whole show. It's like 2-hour therapy.
All right. You're not alone.
Yeah. I gave this one a great as well.
I said a crown for this one.
Did you?
I'm going to contradict everything that I've done all throughout this album. I've always loved this song.
It would have been a flame, but where are the God lyrics? Just go back on yourself straight away. What'd you say?
I absolutely loved this song.
Yeah.
When I used to listen to it. Like this is one of my favorite songs. So there's like real nostalgic vibes to it. And I was like, I was wondering like, is this a flame for me at one point?
I would never have made it this far into the album. 15 songs.
No, that's true. You wouldn't have.
I said this is just a solid, great pop punk song for me. Like it's so solid.
You've got to love the energy. And in that opening riff section.
Yeah, yep, definitely. I said it's technically, for me personally, it's missing something to elevate it to crown, but it's just so solid. But I was considering it. I was like, could this be a crown?
Yeah.
Interesting that you gave it a crown because I know I did, but like you can see in my notes that I was like, why wouldn't I give it a crown?
Yeah.
My favorite part of the song though is that random switch up in the bridge to like the most early 2000s pop punk sound ever.
Yes, the key change.
Then with the fiddly riff, not fiddly, but the third style riff.
Yeah,
the top. It's like, it reminds me so much of like early 2000s pop punk and I love it so much, like flame tier.
Yeah,
love
right.
It. When I heard that, I actually kept rewinding that bridge being like, I don't wish that there was more of this because it's not a very polished sound. It's like what everyone was trying to do in like 2002, 2001. But hearing it in the song, it's like a cool throwback to like that type of sound. But I just loved it so much that when I heard it, I was like, what a nostalgic surprise. Because that sounded like a little Easter egg inside the album of like, remember this?
And they do change keys at that point, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But that's what makes it hit even harder.
This key change is awesome.
Yeah.
Remember we were talking about the one earlier in the album that kind of didn't land.
Yeah,
like, this one is
so
awesome.
formulaic, the other one. It felt very Even though I gave it a crown, I don't love it. But then again, I don't love key changes. I feel like it's a cheap, as you said, cheap way of when nothing's really going on. Is like, how do we make something go on?
Yeah, but that
least amount of effort.
Doesn't feel like that.
No, because this key change is almost like in Boxcar Racer, where the key changes aren't just move up a semitone and sing the same chorus. It's like it just changes completely, and it works.
I think I really like the verses, and I like how there's a little bit of specificity in the lyrics. All of a sudden, like we're talking about.
Too little, too late. Too little. Last song of the album, pretty much.
Like, no, but it's kind of like, I said it was like Motion City soundtrack light. Like in terms of like the quirky, specific reasons why you like a person. What's that he loves to sing about? Like, it's not on that level, obviously, but it's like that kind of a vibe. That was kind of like what I really quite liked about it. Like there's something about this that you could kind of like connect with the lyrics a little bit more because it was a little bit more specific than some of the other songs.
Read your book while I make some hot tea. I love it when you fall asleep on me. I'm still me and I know you're still you.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm going to contradict what I said. But for me,
getting halfway there.
Something about this song has always connected with me, and somehow they land the plane for me personally on this song that they don't necessarily do on some of the other songs.
I agree.
And so that's why for me, I really like it.
There's touches of it there, like he says at the start. The time is near when I won't need this phone. Then what does that mean? But then he says, then we'll stay at home alone and watch the Twilight Zone. Like it's very, very rhymey, but it's very that's Motion City-esque is like what you're doing and stuff.
Yep.
We haven't done a Motion City album yet.
We haven't. No. We do have one on the schedule for this season.
Do we? I can't wait. We're still young and I know you're afraid, but I don't regret all the plans we've made. Driving movies always make you sleep. You end up copping Z's. Copping Z's, bruh. Yeah, it just sounds like it's like a fighting term.
Yeah.
My back seat. I've seen it in your eyes 1,000 times. How can you see it in their eyes if she's asleep? Just like pulling her eyelids out. Copping some Z's in there. Copping some Z's, bruh. We've lost it. We can't do more than 12 songs before our brains just devolve. Maybe don't do the longer episodes.
Yeah.
Keep it trim, boys.
That's right.
Trim it back up.
Maybe we should do bi-weekly episodes so we could do nice short ones. It kind of continues on about this theme of like homey vibe, like just wanting to stay home with someone.
Which is kind of sweet in a way. It's kind of wholesome to be like, I just want to, like, I'm out almost like if it's him, obviously being the singer of a band, it's like I'm out playing all these punk rock shows and I essentially just want to be home, cut it up on a lounge.
I like that.
Which makes me think that, then again, maybe that's the whole lens to view the album through, is that all this stuff that seems surface level is how simple his wants are, and that's all he fantasizes about while being on the road is just being with his friends in a car. That's all he needs to make him happy.
Yeah.
Now do you feel bad saying all that stuff?
I do now, yes. No, I don't feel bad because one day we're going to do other MXPX albums, e.g. Life in General, and I'm going to shower them with praise.
So we have made it to the last song of the album.
Somehow
we got here. There's a comment left on After, which is this track, which is 20 seconds. Oh, it's not, because the shit when it comes back in loud again, like in bloody, just creepy.
Too, that's right.
There's one comment on this.
It's the comment, this should have been the opener.
Just swap them and you have the perfect album. Someone said, this is one of their absolute best albums. It's definitely my top 3.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
I think we could get some interesting commentary in terms of like comments.
Yeah, I think it's cool to check in with what
when we
people
do this
are saying
album,
about certain
because
songs. That's cool to involve.
I may have lit some flames under some people, so to speak. There may be some pitchforks coming from me, but that's good.
Yeah, it's healthy discussion.
Yep.
So anyway, for After, what'd you give this one?
I said great for this one.
I was gonna say.
Because I like that it kind of bookends the way they started the album, and
Yeah, I gave this one a fine. I literally said, cool way to bookend it.
Yeah.
But I said, I just don't know if it needs it, just like the intro.
Yeah.
But I did have a bit of a revelation about this.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Before, everything, and after.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. My note is it ties in nicely to the title.
So anyway, that brings us to the end of the album.
We finally made it.
We did, through that
16
marathon.
songs. Is that the longest?
Let's not talk about it because there needs to be like a Pop Punk Book Club special. We have to have multiple hard drives for the camera. It's going to be a 6-hour episode where we get through Blink-182's One More Time, part 1 and 2 in one sitting, which is like 45 songs. Oh, we'd have to bring camping bags and it'd be like a live stream.
We could have some real flames and light some s'mores.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Anyway, so what did you end up rating this one?
Could we do a marathon at one point? Like we go
24-hour marathon.
Maybe 24 is a lot, but
we
like
would
12
lose
hours.
Our mind.
Yeah.
100% we would be losing.
On the second album.
Yeah, it's true. It wouldn't even be that far in.
Yeah.
It would just be like helicopter footage of just like with the light of us on the roof in our undies, like just throwing stuff around. And the police like with foghorns like, get down off the roof. Sort of things. The boys from a local podcast called the Pop Punk Book Club were 45 minutes into their album review. Oh, that's funny. So, what did you end up rating?
We did that, and it was live. We did a live marathon.
Good little.
If we ever get enough listeners to do that, that would be some good fun.
Yep. What is it? What's it called? Like, all promotion is good.
Yeah.
What's that called? Where it's like, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Yeah. That's what I was trying to get to.
Unless you end up in jail.
Yeah.
All right. So, what was your? What did your score come out as?
I want to hear what yours is first.
Mine was 4.38.
Wow, that's low.
It is low.
It's not like incredibly low because, to be honest, let me just see where you put that. Where that puts it in my thing. Would you say 4.38?
4.38.
For me, if I was to rate it that, I've only rated 2 albums lower than that. And that's Bark Like a Dog and Smash. Which is really weird.
And one of them's...
We haven't even done that. We refuse to. That's our last episode, for sure. We lock in and be like, that's it. We're doing it. Just bash us on the way out. Bash us on the way out. With them. They're close. We could just have them on the lounge with us. We could do a compilation of all the times we said it just with no bleep on it. For me personally, I like Bark Like a Dog, but still 4.38 is down there.
Yes.
I can't believe how high this album came out for me. It makes sense. It's just because there's one flame, a couple of crowns, but the rest of it, that can really save you with an album rating. It's just consistency.
Yeah.
Like, sure, there are songs where albums that I like the songs way better on. One thing for me personally that I can't get my head around is why Sticks and Stones is so low by Newfound Glory.
Yep.
When I say so low, it's still only 11. It's tied actually 10th.
That's crazy. It's tied for 10th for me. It's dropped off my board because but it's tied with Dookie.
But that's the thing. I mean, even Dookie, I loved that album. I thought that was really good, but that's just a 5 for me. But this is the thing. I think that on albums where like Sticks and Stones, that has like incredible songs and then just some fines and some goods and stuff. This to me only had one fine and a couple goods and a lot of greats. And because of that, the average just stayed up. It came out at 5.12 for me, which is...
That is pretty high.
That makes it my 8th highest album.
Wow.
Very surprisingly, it's actually, we just did Colorblind. That was my 8th. This has kicked Colorblind down one.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah. So do you want to go through? You don't have your top 20, do you? While you're finding yours, I can tell you mine. So my top 20 now, with that added, album 1, I've obviously got a number 1. I've got Does This Look Infected by Sum 41. Under that, I barely, by 0.01, I got Futures by Jimmy Eat World. I got the Blink-182 self-titled album. Morbid Stuff by Pup. Ocean Avenue by Yellowcard is tied with Boxcar Racer. Then I've got Open Your Eyes by Goldfinger. Before Everything and After by MXPX, which is today's album. Colorblind by Seaway. Then a 3-way tie for Penny Bridge Pioneers by Mill & Collins, Sticks and Stones by Newfound Glory, and Hoss by Lagwagon, which was such a strange thing, but that's the way that's worked out. Dookie by Green Day next. Then Ramones. At 15, I've got War on Errorism. Then I got Say It Like You Mean It, Till the Wheels Fall Off, Neck Deep album, Bark Like a Dog, and then I got Smash at 20. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool to be able to see it that way. And what's awesome about it is when you hear stuff like with Hoss, where you're just like, oh, that doesn't feel right that it's up that high, but it is because you've rated it fairly. And as I said, you can really get, it's a word where it's like peak end roll sort of thing. Like you can just be thinking about the best parts of an album and go, there's no way that that's not the best album. But that's why our rating system is the fairest.
It is. Okay, so my 20 is from 20 upwards. Peace and the Panic. Smash. Before Everything and After. Till the Wheels Fall Off. Colorblind. Ramones. Open Your Eyes. Say It Like You Mean It. Sticks and Stones. Bark Like a Dog. Dookie. Bark Like a Dog should actually be on the board. Anyway. So then my top 10, Dookie, Hoss, Boxcar Racer, Ocean Avenue, Futures, Blink-182, Penny Bridge Pioneers, Morbid Stuff, The War on Errorism, and Does This Look Infected?
It's funny because we pride ourselves in being quite similar with our musical tastes. And we often, we even figured that out with the data that we've 85% of the time or 75% of the time, we are within one rating.
Yeah.
But our actual album ratings are all over the place. Like we are not similar. Aside from both agreeing that Does This Look Infected is up the top. We're at least 4 albums apart. Aside from Morbid Stuff we agreed on. But the rest of it is wacky order. So have you got a baguette right now?
I do have a baguette right now.
Yeah, me too.
Do you want me to go first?
Sure.
So there were massive nostalgia vibes for me listening to this album.
Can't hear unless you're holding your bread.
Oh.
You don't have a baguette right now. I'm mentally envisioning a baguette right now.
All right. This album gets me thinking about what albums for people just haven't aged as well. Like an album that they put on that they like, they really used to connect with when they were like a teenager or even younger than that, or even like an album they listened to when they were like in their 20s. They put it on when they're older, expecting to like connect with it in the same way, and it just hasn't aged as well as they had hoped for whatever reason. So massive nostalgia vibes for me listening to this album, because I can remember the time when I was sort of like, when I got this album, when I was getting into this album, and I remember us talking about the album when we were in high school.
What do you remember talking about?
I remember, for some reason, I placed it in Year 9 maths.
Okay.
Well, it can't have been Year 9 maths. It must have been Year 10 maths.
That's what's confusing me
Year
about
9
it.
or Year 10 maths.
Yeah.
And I remember us talking about Broken Hearted.
Yeah. I love that song.
Other than that, I don't really remember the specifics. I just knew that we talked about this album a lot.
Yeah.
More so than with, I think, anyone else. Like, I don't know that. Oh, Kale.
Because he liked that album too.
Yes. I don't think the album has aged all that well for me personally. I still really like MXPX, but I would gravitate more to, like, say, Life in General, which is, as I said earlier, is like one of my favorite pop punk albums. I think this album is just not one that I go back to terribly often. And I think there's something about the sound of it that I don't love. I think partly because it's very much of that time of like 2003 when pop punk was kind of at its like peak of popularity and like commercial, like in terms of like the production and all that kind of thing. But I think the other reason why it hasn't aged all that well is because, and I mentioned it multiple times, the lyrics are a little bit cringy and a little bit corny. And I think, so obviously they're a Christian band, and so the lyrics are clean and like a little bit innocent. But on their earlier albums when they were younger guys, like Life in General, they must have been like either late teens or early 20s. Like,
wow.
And they're singing about like, it's teen angst type stuff, right? It's like typical, like the clean versions, a lot of the stuff like Blink was singing about on their Dude Ranch and stuff like that. And they pull it off. There's something about the innocence that really works when you're younger and singing about like being a teenager and like innocent, like flings and that sort of thing.
Yep.
Compared to when you're singing about that same sort of stuff when you're like a grown man and you're singing about it in that kind of still like slightly more juvenile way, if that makes sense.
Right, okay.
And I think that's why it hasn't aged super well for me. And I know it sounds like I'm sticking the boot in a little bit, but that's only because I really love other sounds that MXPX do. And I think the key thing to emphasize as well is like I loved this album when it came out. It's like, and they were obviously older than me at that point in time. You know what I mean? Like they were grown men to me at that point in time. But now it's like as a 37-year-old man older than how old they were when they wrote this album.
That makes sense. Because you were saying stuff like that earlier that I didn't quite understand. But I get that because now you're saying that when you're younger, it looks like the same perspective, but then you see it from an age thing.
Yeah.
And you go, that I would have accepted that when you were younger.
Yeah.
Honestly, that just makes me excited to check out Life in General because you've sung its praises.
We need to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So my big ad is, it's just a quick one. There's nothing more to say. It's like, this is why we listen to whole albums because, as you know, I had a nasty trait. I've only listened to a couple of songs and then just, going with it. But like, and just repeating those same songs over and over again. And this is one of those albums that I didn't listen the whole way through. And I've done it and I've rated it and it's in my top 10. Like this is, for all the albums we've done in the book club, I love this album and I think it's really good. I think this is an album that you can kind of really like trust. You pop it on and if it's what you're looking for, it's just going to be that the whole way through. There's not like, skip these sections or whatever. A couple of songs on there I don't love, but like to me, it's strange because we always say we keep digging because you just want to find those gems. I don't think particularly, I found a couple of songs in here that I really liked. A couple of crowns that I've crowned a couple of songs. So yeah, I found a couple of gems. But sometimes you just end up finding like consistent greats. I just thought they were greats.
Yeah.
So that's why we keep digging. It's not also just to find the gems. It's just because you don't know what's there. And you might end up finding an album that you go, damn, this is actually like my top 10. Like I would never expect it to be at that level. Because it's almost like, I think I'd always love to just find a random flame, or a couple crowns like that. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, sure.
But part of me is like, is it better to find a flame and the rest of the album be crap, or find a really consistent greats? Because then you can just pop the album on and just know that you're going to like it when you listen to it. But either way, you win. That's where
either way you win.
Either way you do. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. It means the world to us that you've been checking this podcast out. As I said, we'll be back now in every 2 weeks. So let us know how it goes. Then again, I'm saying that, and I might not even be able to get the edits done with The Baby Comes this week. So who knows what the next few weeks will come to, but we are doing our best to make sure, endeavoring to make sure that we're as stable as possible Thank you so much for listening. It would mean the world to us if you could tell a friend about this. If you know someone that would be interested in this show, do let them know about this. If you have an idea for an album that you want us to do, or we'd chuck it in the considerations. You get priority, so we won't use the book. Just DM us on Instagram or send an email through to podcast@poppunkbookclub.com. We forgot again to tell you what the album will be for next week. I said we'd get one per season. This is our second one, so we've failed. Anyway, next week's episode is the self-titled No Pressure album from 2022. Can't wait to do that, but I will let you know that we are going to be skipping next week. So that'll be in a couple of weeks' time. The reason we're doing that is because my partner and I are like 10 days overdue today with the baby, and the baby is definitely coming this weekend. And that's usually when we record. So we're going to skip this weekend, be back in 2 weeks' time for No Pressure. So you've got plenty of time to listen to it. So we'll see you then. Catch you later. Bye. Love you lots. But there's always one thing we like to do before we go.
We love to say it's time for Popeth Punk.
Pop punk in the style of Shakespeare. One verse, one chorus. You get one guess. You know how it is. Let's go.
To thee, whose counsel I both seek and fear, it hath long been an understanding betwixt my heart and my silence, spoken not in words, yet loud in every troubled thought. I stand divided within myself, too timorous to depart, yet no less afraid to remain. I have oft declared my intent to leave her side, yet find my will dissolved ere it takes shape. For though I speak of absence, I am bound as though by unseen chains, and I know this well. Were I to go, no treachery would stain my name, nor would I wrong her bed with false affection. Yet still I am vexed by a question that gnaws at my peace. Tell me truly, if I should turn my course away, how wouldst thou judge me? Would another man rise in my stead? Thinkest thou such a rival unlikely? Or would he burn with jealous ire, eager to contest my place? Ah, she is at once gentle as the morning dove, and yet a terror cloaked in beauty, a storm beneath fair skies. Her humours shift like wind upon the sea, and in this I confess mine own folly, that I have tarried where reason bade me flee. The hour grows late, and still I linger, as though time itself were conspired against my better judgment. I begin to perceive, with no small sorrow, that I crave such wild and wandering affection, but rather a companion whose constancy may be known, whose heart may be guided in harmony with mine own, and not ruled by chaos, but by quiet accord. Thus do I write to thee, caught betwixt longing and release, uncertain whether love be my master or my undoing.
I'm stumped.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that a hard one, or is that
it? Yeah.
Malad, is it from the olden days, or is it from the more modern?
It's ye olden.
Ye olden? Like ye olden?
It's of the peaketh of
okay, fair enough.
Of Popeth. Yeah.
I understand if I say it's such a defined story that, like, surely if I'm going to get it, I should have gotten it by now. Like, yeah, okay. The idea of, like, a guy, see if I get this right, a guy dating a girl, he's in a war within himself whether he wants to leave or not, doesn't know if should move on and see someone else. Yes. Is there a line about you're a dove? Like, is that's important? That's important. Is that word in the song?
Yep.
Is it?
Oh!
He's pulled it off. He's pulled himself off.
I bet you pull your weight.
Bet you pull your bloody weight.
You pulled it off.
That's amazing. Well, I think
that's really good. As I was reading that, I was like, this is harder than I thought it was going to be.
Only because the story is, when I hear that song, I don't think of that story. I don't.
Yes.
There's the specific line out of that song that everybody knows, but I wouldn't think that that's what that song's about, because I don't listen to that song that deeply with the lyrics. But as soon as you said that was in it, I mean, that's probably a good clue for anybody else listening for sure. There you go. Did you get it? Let us know in the comments. You might be faster getting it than I was.